Thank you, Reese. You are looking live at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Around these parts, it's known simply as Death Valley. And why not? LSU has won 21 straight games here. And tonight, high-flying South Carolina challenges that streak wearing their specially designed battle uniforms. We welcome you to ESPN College Football Prime Time. And around the SEC, unbeaten Alabama continues to roll, putting away Missouri. And what about LSU here tonight? They've lost their growl. And South Carolina stays cocky. Welcome, everybody, to Kirk Street. I'm Brett Musburger. Wherever we went this week, folks wanted to talk about the Gamecocks, Herbie.
And it's not just in the SEC. I really believe South Carolina, after their performance last week on national TV against Georgia, they become one of the trendy teams in all of America. Now the question is, can they go on the road, beginning tonight, of course, here in Death Valley, next week in the Swamp, and play with that same passion and enthusiasm that carried them to a decisive win over Georgia last week?
And, of course, they've got some fine stars. Their running back, Marcus Lattimore, because of what happened at West Virginia, he could climb into the Heisman Trophy talk tonight. And you love the quarterback.
I really do. Connor Shaw is the trigger man. He's kind of a gritty guy who I think really will show his leadership. He's going to have to make some plays with his arm. He's been making a lot of plays with his feet. If I'm LSU, as much as Marcus Lattimore is the go-to guy, I've got to stop number 14 to be able to give myself a chance to be able to slow down South Carolina's big playability.
Now, Herbie, a week ago, Florida defeated LSU in Gainesville. What happened to the Tigers' growl?
I think the growl started to diminish in New Orleans in the national championship. I know their fan base got restless, not just because of the loss, but because of the outcome and the way it turned out. And I think it carried over into this year. They looked sluggish against Auburn. They finally went on the road and lost to Florida. I believe they're backed into a corner. I think they're going to come out and play with a lot of fire. This stadium is behind them. They need something good to happen early to get their confidence reestablished. And you know this team's going to bring plenty of swagger into the game.
Low-scoring game then tonight?
I really do. I think it'll be low-scoring. I think which quarterback avoids disaster will be the team that eventually will emerge as the winning team.
Well, we had a great scene in Columbia, South Carolina last Saturday night. But, folks, there are a few better than the one you're about to witness here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This gives new meaning to Death Valley, and they'll try to get behind this football team. And right now, behind closed doors, Les Miles is trying to fire up the troops. He knows that they have to play much better, but they normally do on a Saturday night here in Baton Rouge. And remember, after a loss, and Les Miles hasn't lost that many times, but he is 17-1 with these Tigers. And here in Tiger Stadium, they are 6-0 after a road loss. And that's what faces LSU here tonight. Zach Mettenberger with a lot of pressure, a lot of questions about the quarterbacks. And now Les is ready to bring them out, and we will hear the stadium explode.
College Football Primetime, brought to you by Fidelity Investments. Fidelity Investments, supporting higher education across the country, is honored to present the National Football Foundation National Scholar Athlete Awards. And Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'.
I can't afford to ignore our retirement savings. Not in this economy. We also have zero free time. And my dad moving in. So we went to Fidelity. We looked at our family's goals and some ways to help us get there. They helped me fix my economy, the one in my house. Now they're managing my investments for me. You know, with Fidelity, getting back on track was easier than I thought.
Call or come in today to take control of your personal economy. Get one-on-one help from America's retirement leader.
Hey, what are you drinking?
Pumpkin coffee for the morning, and I've got my pumpkin K-Cup packs for at home.
Now I can have my pumpkin coffee anytime I want it.
Pumpkin's perfect. It's Dunkin' with a press of a button.
New pumpkin K-Cup packs, only at Dunkin' restaurants. America runs on Dunkin' Coffee.
How to speak Australian.
Lunch lessons, eh?
Bipartisan. Beer. Foster's. Australian for beer.
Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels. You are watching the SEC on ESPN. Let's go down below to Heather Cox, who's with LSU coach Les Miles.
Brent, thanks so much, Coach. After your team took a hit last week with a disappointing loss to Florida, how have you gotten them refocused?
Well, our football team's used to winning. It's a group of guys that are very committed. They had a great week of practice. I think they're focused tonight.
This is a team that has a depleted O-line. The offense has struggled. What was your message to quarterback Zach Mettenberger and the entire offense before you took the field?
Well, to the offense, we just got to do our job. You know, we got a nice attack. We'll be good if we just execute. Sight's your target. Let's go play.
Sounds like those South Carolina uniforms, Coach. Brent?
Thank you very much, Heather. Herbie, interesting that Steve Spurrier in South Carolina won the toss. They did not defer. They want the football. Why do you think that is?
Well, if we're in 1996, that would make a lot of sense with Steve Spurrier with the Florida Gators. But in a game that you would think on paper appears to be low scoring, he wants the football and to get his quarterback out there.
It's possible that the coaches have talked about the importance of scoring first in this game with this crowd.
Absolutely.
If he's able to get on the board first, he could take the air out. These people are a little uneasy in Louisiana about the performance of the team. Bruce Ellington awaits Hairston's kick, and away we go. It'll come out on the 25-yard line now. Herbie talked about Connor Shaw. He's a junior down around Atlanta, Flowery Branch, Georgia, where he played for his father in high school.
Brent, that says a lot when you say a high school coach's son. It really tells you about the intangibles. You hear the term in basketball when you're doing games at gym rat. That's kind of who Connor Shaw is. 6'1", 207 pounds. Can throw the football better than I think people give him credit, but also runs about a 4.5. So they'll look for him to make some big plays with his feet as well.
And we begin. Who has the best defensive line in the SEC? Is it LSU? You'll watch those big rascals first. Shaw throws that screen quickly to the outside, and Bird. And Herbie, let's take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
When you do South Carolina, you start with Connor Shaw and quickly get to Marcus Lattimore, one of the top backs in all college football. Demir Bird got his hands on the ball there. He's got to get vertically in this game and make plays. And Chaz Sutton, number 90, and Jadeveon Clowney, they're going to be coming after Zach Mettenberger the entire game when the South Carolina defense is on the field.
Here comes the hammer. Lattimore, and Reed is wrestling with him, and you can see how difficult it is to bring him down for the first man to make contact.
Eric Reed, a veteran safety for LSU and one of the real leaders of this team, was a valuable commodity last year for John Chavis, the defensive coordinator from LSU. Very physical, but that time, second play of the game, gets a feel what that collision is going to be like all night long against big number 21.
T.J. Johnson is the Gamecock center. Ellington's your motion receiver. 3rd and 1. Lattimore picks his way, tries to get it with a second effort. Let's see where they spot it. Tiger fans think that he is stopped just short, but it'll depend on the spot, and it does appear, if that yellow line is accurate, that he is just short. Sam Montgomery all fired up. He's a South Carolina native, number 99 on this defensive line.
Boy, he is talented, known for his pass rush ability, but there just pinching down, expecting an interior run, and was there to stop the play.
Odell Beckham Jr. back. It's a short punt. He'll probably let this one just bounce. And it took a South Carolina roll out of bounds around the 25-yard line. And now we turn our attention to the young man that folks are starting to wonder about. He came out of Georgia, went to JC, was in here last year and watched, and now Zach Mettenberger has taken over the Tigers.
And selfishly, this is the battle that I really wanted to see tonight. A reshuffled offensive line, a quarterback who is struggling, an offense that struggled last week on the road. Now they're back home, and you know that this first drive is very important for Mettenberger's confidence.
And also for this LSU offensive line. Perhaps the biggest story of the offense. It holds on first down, and he puts it in Beckham's hands for 9 yards. And let's take a look at the impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, they're going to have some first and 10 passing to take some of the pressure off of Kenny Hilliard. Spencer Ware, also number 11 tonight, will be seen. The left tackle, Josh Jurasic. Keep an eye on him, matched up against Jadeveon Clowney. Kevin Minter in the middle of that defense. We already took a look at him. And also Sam Montgomery, who will be applying a lot of pressure on Connor Shaw when the Tigers are on defense.
First down is so important when you struggle on third down. Here comes the toss play to Ware. Spencer Ware is stopped. He is short, and a fine play by Devontae Holliman. Now I want to show you folks just how much LSU's offense has struggled. I'm going to take you back through the last 3 SEC opponents. And yes, Alabama in the championship game is one of them. A week ago, and then there's Auburn. All right. They've had 36 drives against those defenses and 1 touchdown. They're converting only 21% on their third downs, and they've been outscored 45-16. I mean, this offense has been swallowed in the SEC. Third down and 2 now. Mettenberger with time, fires for the first down. So it's a nice throw to James Wright, the junior from Louisiana.
With concerns on this offensive line, and we mentioned how it's reshuffled. They struggled last week against Florida. You can see what their answer is here early on this drive. Get back and get the ball out of your hands on short, quick routes. South Carolina, you got to think, is going to counter by tightening up their coverage, not giving them the easy throws. But so far, the LSU wide receivers holding on to the football, something that's been a problem this year.
Come back with Ware. Nice hole on the left side. Now, here is the offense. Hold it. They battle for the ball on the ground. Here you can see Jurasic, the left tackle. Now, we want to show you the 5th offensive line that Herbie has been talking about. But, folks, look over to the right side. 2 freshmen are forced in. Alex Hurst and Josh Williford are not in uniform. Suffered a concussion in Florida. Hurst has some personal problems. He was struggling a little bit at left tackle, and the team does not know when he will return. So they're without 1 star. Remember, Falk went out after the first game of the season, and they've had to use 3 left tackles. Mettenberger on 2nd and 4. And it's incomplete on the throw to James Wright that time.
So we just talked about how LSU having success with those quick throws. Get the ball out of your hands. I talked about South Carolina's going to counter by tightening up the coverage. And there's Jimmy LeGree. He tightened the coverage, made James Wright have to work to get open. And that's what I think you're going to see more and more from Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator from South Carolina. Make these receivers work to get open and make the quarterback, Mettenberger, hold on to the ball to give Clowney time to get there.
Spencer Ware and Jeremy Hill. Now they offset Hill. Play action under pressure. Gives it back to him on a beautiful middle screen. Spencer Ware with a huge play call by LSU.
Brent, you're going to remember this. Steve Spurrier calling this against Alabama in the SEC championship game in 1992. A little flip pass there to the running back. Let the speed get to you, and then the quarterback just flips it sidearm to the back.
Lou Holtz loved watching that play, folks. That was Tony Rice to the rocket. Get that man loose in the middle, and your offensive lineman can get downfield and block, unlike the NFL.
Little slip screen there. It reminded me of Shane Matthews to Eric Rett when Spurrier used to call that.
Now Michael Ford will replace Ware as the running back. Here comes the toss, trying to get to the edge. Holliman in pursuit finally forces him out of bounds. LSU, Herbie, in looking at the tape of the Georgia game of South Carolina, they felt the Bulldogs did not get back to the edge after having early success in that game, got away from it, and LSU is determined to try and exploit the edge here tonight.
Well, two completely different philosophies from Georgia to what you're going to see with LSU tonight. Their identity, if they have one at this point, is obviously with Les Miles running the football. But what I'd like to see so far from LSU, they've called 7 plays, 3 runs, 4 passes. They're really doing a good job of mixing it up and staying balanced.
Clowney is at right defensive end, and he moves in quickly and gets the running back from behind. J.C. Copeland, who was the fullback, and big number 7 was all over.
And make no mistake, the LSU coaches are watching him every single play to see how he reacts to different looks. That time he collapses down in a hurry on J.C. Copeland, the big fullback. Don't think that they're not afraid to bring a jet sweep off a fake to that look and try to get outside of him. He's so quick, sometimes you can take advantage of that aggressive attitude.
Now with 3rd down and 1, they put a tight end over there on that side. Nick Jacobs to help out. And Ware picks up the 1st down and keeps going with that 2nd effort all the way to the 10-yard line. But LSU is going to attack Clowney with a tight end.
Watch the right guard, Trey Turner, 56. That's a redshirt freshman. A lot of people had some questions about. They have a true freshman in Alexander on the right side. Right now, because of the play calling, the balanced look from LSU, that offensive line holding their own against this same South Carolina defense that just dominated Georgia a week ago.
The LSU score on the first possession, and this crowd will be in it to stay. And a completed pass to Landry. Legree, the defensive back for South Carolina.
You put up those numbers of what LSU has done against some SEC defenses, and this LSU staff knows that. And as I said, their answer with some issues and some concerns in pass protection, they are throwing, and I love that they're throwing on 1st and 10, and they're getting the ball out of Mettenberger's hands as quickly as they can, and those receivers are doing their job of securing the ball.
Our eye look. And Ware slips. Coaches were determined to get number 11 some reps here tonight, and he's carrying the running back position down close to another 1st down.
He was such a big part of this offense a year ago, early in the year, and then as the season wore on, you saw more of Michael Ford, Alfred Blue, even Kenny Hilliard. And then they thought coming into this year he had such a good offseason, his weight was down, he got dinged in camp, and now he's finally starting to get healthy, and now they think he can become the guy.
They take Mettenberger out. Hilliard comes into the game. They're going to set a wildcat. Spencer Ware was out early practicing, and there is number 11 is going to move up. Remember, he was a high school quarterback back in Cincinnati. Keeps it, steps for the 1st down. So a wrinkle coming up with some things here tonight, and it's 1st and goal for the Tigers.
I don't care who gets the football. Follow number 44 to the promised land. The fullback, J.C. Copeland, 6'1", 275 pounds. He'll lead you to that 1st down. Being from Ohio, I'm very familiar with Spencer Ware. It's been fun to watch him grow into a premier SEC back, but you're right. He was an outstanding high school quarterback at Cincinnati Princeton.
And they give it to Hilliard, and he is stopped short. Herbie, on that last conversion, LSU is now 4 for 4 on 3rd downs on this drive. Remember, they were only 1 of 13 against the Gators in Gainesville last week. Mettenberger checks the sideline on this 2nd down and goal. He'll show a tight formation. Hilliard is still the tailback. They'll run the toss. They'll try to get to the edge. Not going to do it. It'll be 3rd down and goal coming up now.
This defense is tough to score on. In fact, they've only given up 4 touchdowns, which is 4th in the nation this entire year. They are very determined. They're very disciplined. They have a great idea of what their responsibility is. We saw it last week against Georgia in that game.
The Gators struggled when they got close to pay dirt against Florida. Miles, facing a 3rd and goal, uses a timeout.
Students everywhere agree LSU is a phenomenal choice. Experience the campus where passion becomes genius. Now, only at LSU.
We build tires, but not like anybody else. We build our tires for people, not just cars. So more than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Like get up to $75 back on 4 qualifying Cooper tires during our Take the Money and Ride event. Get your rebate form and complete terms and conditions at a participating Cooper Tire dealer or CooperTireRebates.com. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
When we brought the victory challenge to the streets, we were not going to do it at some freaking poser parade. No, sir. This is Sturgis. Let's ride.
Are you two going to stand here oiling each other's leathers, or are you going to go for a victory ride?
Let's go for a ride. I'm leaving my Harley Davidson at home. I'm taking the victory all the way back to California.
Ride one and you'll own one. You got that, sweet lips?
Whether it's Kevin's smartphone, Mom's smartphone, Dad's tablet, or Lauren's smartphone, AT&T has a plan built to help make families' lives easier. Introducing AT&T Mobile Share. One plan lets you share data on up to 10 devices with unlimited talk and text. Add a tablet for only $10 per month. AT&T.
Want to win a trip to next year's Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement? Enter now at youralltimeteam.com. Pick your favorite Hall of Famers, and you and a guest could win a VIP trip with me to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, courtesy of Allstate.
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
So we are back now with a 3rd and goal, and Herbie, it looks like a tight formation with some tight ends. Do you suspect that Les Miles might throw out of this?
I think you have to. South Carolina's defense this year has proven it's tough to just play power football. You're going to have to come up with something where you try to get them isolated one-on-one and try to get the ball to the perimeter. They've got their power look, but maybe they're trying to use that as a decoy. 15th play of this drive.
Well, here it goes, and they hand it to Hilliard. They didn't give it to him. He was pushed back at the 1-yard line, and it is suddenly a 4th and goal.
It looked like, Brent, he was going to get in there. There's power football with Copeland leading the way. Goes right into the 2 linebackers. Looks like Shaq Wilson may stop him. Victor Hampton had a chance, but he did not extend the ball across the goal line. It's a heck of an effort there by both LSU's back Hilliard, and really a nice play there by Bowens at the goal line.
Now remember, the player Bowens has to come out for a play, and there he is on the sideline because he lost his helmet. No field goal team, and now they're out there, and let's be careful here because there were players who didn't understand what coach wanted in this situation. Alama is going to come over. It's a 4th and goal. And the Tigers have burned their 2nd timeout.
The utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
You. We know you. We know you have to rise early and work late, with not enough sleep in between. How you sometimes need to get over to that exit, like right now. And how things aren't just about you anymore. Introducing the all-new Smart Sensing Honda Accord. It starts with you.
Oh, all the comrades there I've had.
We gotta push just a little bit more.
Sorry for
do whatever you gotta do to keep this group safe.
Someone's coming.
can't keep us here. We haven't done anything.
The Walking Dead returns tomorrow night at 9, only on AMC.
This is awesome.
Folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico sure are happy.
I'd say happier than a slinky on an escalator.
Get happy. Get Geico.
Well, that was uncalled for. Folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico sure are happy.
How happy, Ronnie?
Happier than Gallagher at a farmer's market.
Get happy. Get Geico.
Precision. At LensCrafters, we call it AccuFit, a digital scanning system 5 times more precise, helping you see perfectly. That's precision. LensCrafters.
32-yard attempt. There's a snap. Now it's a fake and the flip over to David, and he is going to score! Holy cow, what a play! What about that, old ball coach?
Yep, Les Miles will go to the fake field goal. He had Terrence McGee out there before this timeout was called. And so now, with the crowd a little bit uneasy about the decision to set up in the field goal, Les may go for it. Remember, if he misses down here, or if he leaves him inside the 1-yard line coming out. So not be a good field position.
An interesting call after the way the game unfolded last week for LSU. It's easy to say as a fan, go for it, what the heck, what a drive, let's get the crowd into the game. But after last week, sometimes those are tougher calls, but Les does want to go for it. Now Mettenberger jogged onto the field and splinted off.
So Mettenberger is out of the formation. The Wildcat will be the look. They put Spencer Ware, remember, he went right straight ahead for a first down on this drive. Now he goes right straight ahead. And penalty flag. There might have been movement. Yep, false start. So that's going to bring it back to the 6, and that'll bring Alamo onto the field for the field goal, I'm sure.
That's where you start to really wonder with trying a little bit of trickery, the different cadence from another quarterback who doesn't take a lot of snaps.
False start on the offense. 5 yards, still 4th down.
It looked like the true freshman at right tackle there, Alexander. Just a little flinch. See, just a little bit of movement. Spencer Ware was underneath there with that cadence for a while, and those linemen, it's tough to hold them back sometimes.
Brad Wing, the punter, is the holder now. This will be a 23-yard field goal attempt. LSU burns 2 timeouts, winds up with a false start, and they settle for a field goal, but they do score first. They jump ahead of South Carolina here by a 3-0 count.
Hey, Tigers,
The WNBA Finals, Indiana versus Minnesota, tomorrow at 8.
Your financial goals can seem far away at first. But with the right tools and a little patience, they get closer. No matter the conditions. As an investment management leader, the principal has more than 130 years of experience to help you reach your dreams. Learn ways to build, grow, and protect your financial future at dreamagain.com and contact your advisor.
The all-new ABC Comedy Tuesday is here.
Don't underdescribe the awesomeness.
This could be huge.
Ready?
What are you doing? We just want to ride to the mall.
It's happy endings.
I've been in this tub so long I'm starting to look like a California raisin.
And don't trust the bee in apartment 23.
Your sweater looks like a pumpkin mated with a turd.
Because nobody makes you LOL like your BFFs.
We're not paying for that.
ABC Comedy Tuesday premieres Tuesday, October 23rd, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Here at Banner Ford, we give our customers our very best price every single day.
It's Truck Month, and the model year-end closeout is now underway at Banner Ford. Come get the biggest savings of the year on all new and pre-owned Banner cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock, like the new 2012 F-150 XLT Super Cab with 23 MPG, now only $25,590, or lease it for only $239 per month.
The Banner Way. It really is a better way.
Banner Ford, North Causeway at Highway 190 in Mandeville, just 2 miles from the Causeway.
How do you get free HD? Who's got the fastest internet? Which phone service is most reliable? Well, at Charter, we've been making serious improvements to our TV, phone, and internet service. So over the next few months, we'll be looking at all your different choices, comparing features and prices, and explaining how Charter stacks up against the competition in internet speed, free HD, guaranteeing your satisfaction, and more. Try Charter. It's smarter.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Hampton Hotels. Feel the Hamptonality. And in part by the all-new Honda Accord. It starts with you.
About an hour and a half. Avery Island from Baton Rouge. How many of you use a little Tabasco in your scrambled eggs, steak, Bloody Marys?
Everything.
All of them from Avery Island. Folks, dates from 1868. And you know what they aged that in? That's right, those old oak barrels from the Jack Daniels Whiskey Company in Tennessee. And there you have the Tabasco Star. Here we go now. Hurst to kick it off. Bruce Ellington's back deep. Going to be fielded at the 5-yard line, and he is well short. Whoa, what great coverage that time. Let's check in as Lofton got down on him. Let's go to Reese Davis.
Brent, Taco Bell studio update, and Herbie tried to warn the Gators on game day. Locked in a battle on ESPNU with Vanderbilt, and in Florida, they pulled one out of the Les Miles book. A little fake punt. Solomon Patton would rip it inside the 10. Gators scored a couple of plays later. Not out of the woods yet, but Florida up 18-7 late in the third.
So there we have it. And next week, South Carolina goes to Gainesville to play the Gators. Loud, real loud in Death Valley. Shaw, Mingo pressuring him. Out of the pocket, Montgomery closing in. Tries to get it out of bounds for the incompletion that time. And there is a South Carolina native, and oh, how he has looked forward to playing in this game.
A little bit of a different deal on the road in Death Valley than last week at home against a Georgia defense that did not come after him in the same vein as Sam Montgomery and company. All week, John Chavis has challenged his defense. Go after Connor Shaw. We're not going to let him create against our defense.
Was lost in the safety. He's moving one of the young linebackers over to the left. Lattimore picks his spot. Lattimore out to the 20-yard line. Let's check in down below with Heather Cox. Heather?
Brent, you mentioned Sam Montgomery is playing for bragging rights with his best friends. He's from Greenwood, South Carolina. He grew up with current Gamecock players Kelsey Quarles, DJ Swearinger, and Justice Cunningham. They all played AAU ball together, and they're still best friends. Montgomery said, I just wanted to go somewhere different. Now, it's interesting, guys. When we talked to Steve Spurrier about it, he said he feels like Montgomery was really the last big-time South Carolina recruit to get out of the state, and that he's kept the rest of them since then.
And he took himself out for this play. On this third down, LeVar Edwards is in. Shaw with the offensive line holding, throws for the first down. Picks his spot to Justice Cunningham, the tight end H-back, and they pick up a first down. That's a big first down, and Justice a little shaken up on the play.
They used this play a lot last week against Georgia, where they just cross the tight ends. They try to flash some jerseys, different colored jerseys in front of those linebackers, get them to bite on one of them, and then throw to the other tight end. This time they took away Rory Anderson, 81, and Cunningham was left alone there just enough for the first down.
There's Brandon Shell, freshman, redshirt freshman right tackle, nephew of the Hall of Famer by the name of Art Shell. And a timeout is going to be called here. We'll be right back.
When I was in high school, I wanted to do something that impacted the world in a positive way. I had a very influential chemistry teacher. He had studied chemical engineering and worked for NASA. He was passionate about teaching, and it was powerful. And I realized that that's what I want to do. I want to be an engineer that's going to make a change. Teachers make a world of difference.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
I'm not in favor of a $5 trillion tax cut. That's not my plan.
The Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center concluded that Mitt Romney's tax plan would cost $4.8 trillion over 10 years.
Why won't Romney level with us about his tax plan, which gives the wealthy huge new tax breaks? Because according to experts, he'd have to raise taxes on the middle class or increase the deficit to pay for it. If we can't trust him here, how could we ever trust him here?
Aerial coverage at Tiger Stadium being provided by the MetLife blimp. See how MetLife can provide the coverage you need. MetLife, I can do this, and folks are going to expand this stadium again. And when they're finished, they will have 100,000 seats available down there.
And this is one of the most intimidating atmospheres already. And I think it's affecting South Carolina here early in this game. Steve Spurrier just calling a timeout. It's amazing what a difference a week can make to the continuity of an offense early in a football game. Still a long way to go, but this game not quite starting the way the Gamecocks enjoyed it last week at home.
First down and 10. Constant shifting in that front. Lattimore picks his daylight. And a tough yard before Eric Reed, the hard-hitting safety, comes up to make the stop.
He's going to have to make those plays because you see the man in motion on the jet sweep. The corner ran with him. So that means the linebackers and the safeties, especially Eric Reed, have got to be able to find and locate Marcus Lattimore and be sure tacklers. This guy's one of the best in the SEC at breaking tackles and getting more yards. That time a great job by Reed.
Throwing situation here for Connor Shaw. And look at Mingo bring the crowd in. Shaw keeps it himself. A little bit of a read option, and sort of surprised about that play, huh, folks? And let's go down to Heather.
Herbie was just talking about how loud it is, and it is truly at its peak right now. I talked to Steve Spurrier about simulating practice noise this week, and he said, we don't do that. We won at the Swamp 2 years ago. We won at Georgia a year ago. We don't emphasize it. We don't use loudspeakers. No serious problems. But, guys, you see Connor Shaw running all over trying to talk to his offense. He lifts the foot for the cadence, but it's not working. It's so loud right now, guys.
3rd and 9, Heather, on the shotgun. Couldn't find someone. Takes off, and he's got to get down in a hurry at the 28-yard line because Reed had taken dead aim at the quarterback.
And again, Reed is just kind of sitting in the middle of the field, respecting the routes, but also keeping an eye on the quarterback. And as soon as he sees him start to take off, he's not hesitating. He's coming up to be able to make the play. Does a good job. The LSU defense, both times that South Carolina has had the ball, doing a really good job of corralling Connor Shaw.
Tyler Hull's the punter. Beckham is back deep. This time it takes an LSU bounce. He scoops it up on that sideline, but I believe it was out of bounds back there around the 42-yard line. Well, Monday Night Football, the Broncos and the Chargers. There you have it, Peyton Manning against Phillip Rivers of the Chargers. And speaking of Phillip Rivers, as you see the numbers that they've got, his brother is the backup quarterback at LSU. That's right, Stephen Rivers, 6'8". Watched him in practice, and there is the young man with the headset on. And he is the brother of Phillip Rivers, the backup quarterback here at LSU. Mettenberger, who's keeping him on the sideline, back to throw, rocket ship, incomplete, and Landry wants a flag. Doesn't get it.
Well, 1st and 10, we're starting to see a pattern right now by both these teams. When LSU has the ball, they're throwing the football on 1st and 10. And there's the response. It's actually a really good move to the inside that time by Landry. He's arguing that he wants contact, he wants the call, but I think it's pretty good coverage by Jimmy Legree. Landry beat him to the inside. He had a chance to be able to break free to get open, but he and Mettenberger that time not quite in sync.
So Hilliard is your running back. Mettenberger with that short quick drop, and that ball is deflected, and it was hit by Devin Taylor, the other fine defensive end. We talk so much about Clowney sometimes we don't mention Taylor, but he's a fine football player.
It looked like Taylor backhanded that ball. You know, usually when the ball comes out that fast, you want to try to jump up in front, but he gets hit by Hilliard. He just kind of throws his hand up and olays it and actually made contact. Pretty good job there by the big man.
It was at that. 3rd down and 10, and Jeremy Hill is back to help Mettenberger if they need protection. Clowney trying to get to the middle, and they throw in that direction, and it was a fine play call. Clowney had to come from behind to bring Jeremy Hill down. Jeremy is just a freshman from Baton Rouge, but obviously he's got good hands.
That's what they do with Clowney. They stunt him to the inside, but I want you to watch, Brent, is the left tackle, Dorosic, and how he gets downfield. This is a guy that's had knee issues over the years. He locks up with a corner, and it's his effort downfield that eventually gave the back enough room for that 1st down. Really good job to see that big man out in front and to give the young freshman Hill enough room there. That effort got him the 1st down.
A 20-yard gain brings it to the 38, and LSU on the move again. They come right back with Hill on the running play.
Well, they have a stable of backs, don't they?
They really do.
And it seems like it's been that way for the last 4 or 5 years for Les Miles. Even losing Alfred Blue, who is one of the more explosive players in that backfield. You still have now Spencer Ware coming back, getting healthy. Michael Ford, Kenny Hilliard, who's a power back, and even Jeremy Hill, the true freshman, in there. Whatever they can do to take pressure off of Zach Mettenberger is big, and we're seeing that tonight.
Odell Beckham is your slot receiver on the right. Intercepted. Picked off. Legree headed for the end zone. Needs one block. Reaches for the pylon, just short of it. Out of bounds on the Legree interception. Oh, how quickly things can turn around. We have a penalty flag and a man down at the 46-yard line. That's Kelly Quarles being tended to, and there's a penalty flag right alongside him.
70 yards on the return.
Brent, LSU has gone to these quick throws over and over early in this game, and they went one too many times to the well.
Personal foul, number 44 on the offense. That penalty is half the distance from the end of the run. 1st out.
That's J.C. Copeland, the hard-hitting fullback, who is guilty on that. That's a 70-yard return on that interception.
Give Jimmy Legree and his defensive coordinator, Lorenzo Ward, a lot of credit for being able to almost bait Mettenberger into this interception. Backs off a little bit, jumps the route, steps in front of it, then at the end tries to extend. I think it's going to come down to whether or not his knee touched, and before he went out of bounds, whether or not he got into the end zone.
That's Jeremy Hill hanging on from behind, and the quarterback Mettenberger, who threw the interception, trying to cut him off. The official running right alongside him marked it down as he was reaching for the end zone, and so instant replay upstairs. SEC crew that we have here. Doyle Jackson is our replay official. Hubert Owens, our referee, and Russ Pulley is the umpire.
You talk about a play that you're right. This game just felt like this is how LSU wanted it to start after last week for Les Miles. Controlling things on that side of the football, and then this huge turnover. We'll see what happens.
Okay, was judged to be down. Lattimore is the touchdown machine. I don't have to tell you, he's right alongside Connor Shaw. Odds on to get the carry. 21 cuts back, and LSU throws him for a loss that time. And Barrow is in on that stop. We come to the end of the 1st quarter. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Big Spur loving that interception.
You. We know you. We know that things don't always go like you plan. We know how hard you have to work just to spend some time away from it. And that you don't get enough sleep. We know that sometimes you need to let loose or take out some frustrations. We know your mind wanders. And there are people you love unconditionally. Because the best way to make a car is to know you, the people who use it. Introducing the more advanced, more sophisticated, all-new Honda Accord. It starts with you.
Look at him. You want me to? Shake? Are you serious? Down? Speak.
Got a crowd to feed? Try Chick-fil-A catering.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN.
Montgomery was shaken up on that play down at the end zone, and so he has come off on the sideline, and we hope he's going to be all right. During that timeout, one of the great legends down here, Paul Dietzel, was introduced to the crowd and got a huge ovation. He brought in the Chinese Bandits. There is Paul. Coached at West Point for a while. Came down here to Baton Rouge. Won a championship. Second down and goal for South Carolina. Lattimore is still the favorite. He scored 36 career touchdowns for the Gamecocks. Sean wants to check over to the sideline. The coaches have had a chance to take a look at the defense. 6 seconds and Spurrier's going to burn a timeout. Both coaches have burned 2 timeouts here in the first half with 15 minutes to go in the second quarter. So we'll take a break.
Some people love their cars almost as much as they love their team. Let's go, Hokies!
How to speak Australian.
1 plus is 8.
Bipartisan. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
When we got married,
I had 3 kids, and she became the full-time mother of 3.
it was soccer and ballet and cheerleading and baseball. Those years were crazy. So as we go into this next phase, you know, a big part of it for us is that there isn't anything on the schedule.
Now open in Covington is the Bank of New Orleans. We invite all North Shore residents to come in and experience a new level of exceptional customer service. From fast local decision-making to a full array of banking products, the Bank of New Orleans looks forward to serving you in Covington.
Football, Wi-Fi, wings. Now that's a business plan. Glad you like it. Question is, how are you liking charter business?
Well, our internet's a lot more powerful than with phone company DSL. It can actually run all this now. Plus, we've got reliable phone, and we're saving like crazy.
Another everyday victory. Let me see your end zone dance.
No, I don't dance.
All right, let's just do a flying chest bump and call it a day.
To save over 25% versus the phone company and get up to a $500 gift card, call now.
Category: Men's Clothing Stores. This institution was named Best Men's Clothing Store for the 12th consecutive year. Joy.
What is Perlis?
Correct. For top names in casual and dress clothing, visit Perlis and experience guaranteed customer satisfaction.
Quarters, we continue Dr. Pepper's road to the championships. South Carolina knocking on the door right now with a 2nd down and goal. Shaw rolling, throwing off the roll, touchdown, Sanders. Ace Sanders puts the first score on the board. A touchdown, I should say. First score was actually that LSU field goal.
How about man-to-man coverage, and Steve Spurrier uses his timeout because he saw the coverage that John Chavis selected before the timeout, put in the motion, got the defensive back out of the way, and isolated Ace Sanders one-on-one in coverage, and a good throw there by Connor Shaw.
Adam Yates tacks on the extra point. The Gamecocks right back.
The utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
In 1944, Bill Bowers heard that the bell from the USS Arizona was to be melted for scrap. Instead, he got it installed back at his alma mater and rang it himself the first time, starting a 50-year Wildcat tradition. And when the new student union opened in 2002, who rang the old bell in the new tower? Bill Bowers, age 99.
Fans show their loyalty in all kinds of ways. Ours, just buy another Hyundai.
Do you know what my mother taught me? To cook good food that people want to eat every day. Her recipe inspired the black beans in the Cantina Bowl. They're amazing.
Taco Bell's new Cantina Bowl. You'll love it or we'll replace it, guaranteed.
Let's talk about that 401k you picked up back in the 80s. Like a lot of things, the market has changed, and your plans probably have too. At Charles Schwab, we'll give you personalized recommendations on how to reinvest that old 401k. So talk to Chuck and bring your old 401k into the 21st century.
Roll over your old 401k to a Schwab IRA and you can receive up to $600. See schwab.com for terms and conditions.
Rated M for mature.
All we wanted was our freedom. It seems we are well and truly at war.
George Washington now rallies the colonists. This country might finally be free.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Get 4 exclusive Assassin's Creed 3 missions only on PlayStation 3.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Hampton Hotels. Feel the Hamptonality. And in part by Hyundai. Go online and show your loyalty to your school at HyundaiShowYourLoyalty.com.
Well, Herbie, we can get you on one of those airborne tours
that.
there. You know, Arthur
Look for a gator.
down there in Dale Evans, about an hour and a half south of Baton Rouge. Then you can go on down and get some Tabasco, and well, yeah, good afternoon.
It'll be a great day. Isn't it amazing? College football and the emotions of this game, and especially in this conference, where the game feels like it's being dominated by the home team, and just like that, it can switch in the other way.
Well, for LSU, they've gone another quarter against SEC competition without a touchdown.
That's right.
That's 13. They've only scored 1. That was against Auburn. That was it. Connelly, and they'll bring it out. So Here's how it turned around here.
Yeah, watch how he stares down his receiver. Remember, he had some success. Look at Jimmy LeGree's technique. He's eyeing that receiver the whole way, and then he jumps the route. He'd been beaten a couple times on that. They went back to the quick throw, the easy throw for Mettenberger, the easy read. He jumped it to set up the touchdown by South Carolina. Man-to-man, Connor Shaw, look at this matchup. Ace Sanders against Craig Loston, the safety. That is a mismatch that South Carolina will take every time, and they capitalize for the touchdown.
Zach Mettenberger with an interception. He threw one last week. And in 2012, he now has 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. First down and 10. Ford and Copeland are in the backfield behind Mettenberger. Run that toss play with Ford. Beckham trying to get somebody out of the way, but he could not clear the path. And Auguste finally comes over and makes a stop. Akeem Auguste was shaken up a little bit last week, but he practiced late in the week for South Carolina, and here is number 3.
South Carolina has 8, sometimes 9 men stacked at the line of scrimmage. And this time LSU just flipped it real quick, used the speed to get out to the perimeter, and they'll take 6 or 7 yards every time on 1st and 10.
Copeland banging straight ahead across midfield.
Pretty good surge up front by that offensive line, and the big fella who's known for his blocking getting his hands on the football today a little bit, and it's paying off for him. They're surprising South Carolina with that quick hitter.
Herbie, unless I'm mistaken, I don't see Clowney. Let me see down at this defensive front. He's on the sideline right now with his hat on, and he was not out there for that run. Mettenberger going to fire to the right side, incomplete. The Beckham. The crowd's going to grow uneasy if LSU's passing game doesn't pick it up here. Now Clowney returns.
About the athletic ability that we saw last week from Devontae Holloman, number 21. He's had 2 games back-to-back in the SEC against Kentucky, and then last week against Georgia, where the coaches have singled him out. That time climbing the ladder, getting his hand on the ball, and he's the reason that pass was not completed. A good job up front there by him.
Converted safety. Walks it up to the linebacker, able to cover those receivers. 2nd down and 10. Mettenberger, deeper drop, hit on the release, and Beckham hangs on. Beautiful catch by Odell Beckham, the sophomore from New Orleans.
How about the job here this time by the quarterback? He's taken a lot of criticism because he won't sit in the pocket under pressure. Watch this. Quinn Smith comes right in as he's releasing the ball. He handles it. He keeps his vision and his sight downfield and makes a good throw.
And they're quickly to the line of scrimmage. Trying to run a little up-tempo here. And Michael Ford.
I think the defense wasn't set. You can see that they're just trying to get aligned. And a quick hitter, Brent, you're right. Here comes the tempo from the Tigers.
Coming right up to the line of scrimmage now. Mettenberger has what he wants. And it's Ford again, busting across the 20-yard line. Victor Hampton making the stop. And they're catching this defensive line, and they're starting to gash just a little bit on this drive.
And look at their hands on their hips right now. South Carolina, I think, a little bit surprised here because of the uncharacteristic look here from LSU with the tempo.
Jeremy Hill now going to run it right straight ahead, and that time the Gamecocks were ready. Devin Taylor, number 98, led the defense that time.
South Carolina not being shy at all about how they want to stop LSU. They're manning up on the outside, putting 1 safety at about 20 yards deep, and they are walking their linebackers way up close to the line of scrimmage. And you got 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers all within about 2 or 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Here's that bugaboo, 3rd down. Miles and the Tigers need a yard. Power over on the right. They cut back for the 1st down. And the youngster Jeremy Hill is starting to run with authority. 6'2", 235. Only carried the ball twice in Gainesville last week. But this youngster's bringing a little force to that running game.
One of the great things about having depth back there, Brand, is they can keep them fresh and go with the hot hand when somebody starts to get a feel. And right now it appears to be Jeremy Hill. And this offensive line, I think, has really responded to the tempo, too. They're starting to control the line of scrimmage here on this drive.
Holloman's up on the line of scrimmage. Copeland is hit in the backfield by Clowney, who broke that play up. Keeps it alive, and Clowney coming from behind him at the 15-yard line. Clowney blew the play up originally.
How about the effort, though, to go chase him down? Because you're right, it looked like he had a tackle for a loss, but instead of staying on the ground, watch out from behind, because Copeland's still running, and you love to see Clowney not just give up on the play. Known as a pass rusher, but has shown in recent weeks his ability also to defend the run.
2nd down and 10, short drop. Gonna throw that fade, got an open receiver, and he overthrew Jarvis Landry. Landry was open, and Mettenberger, a little bit too much air in that ball.
Brent, watch the slant to the inside. They've been going there a lot, and then back to the outside. And Legree, who had the interception, who jumped the route, he fell for it. He went way to the inside. Perfect time for LSU to go to it. The ball just not quite up in the air enough for Landry to run underneath.
McGee and Wright check in as receivers. Now faces a 3rd and 10. P.J. Lonergan, the strongest member of the offensive line, snaps it to Mettenberger and knocked down by Clowney. Wanted to set the screen in his direction, and they have knocked it down, and this crowd is going to be uneasy now.
Watch DeRosick try to chop him here at the line of scrimmage. We saw last week by Gates, the left tackle from Georgia, that when you go underneath, you don't have much of a chance because he's so agile. He has an ability to go up and over that and maintain his balance, and then he gets his hand up and knocks the ball down.
So Drew Alaba. A 32-yard field goal, and did not make it. So not only is the passing game misfiring, now even a normally reliable field goal unit is hooking it. Offensive troubles continue with LSU.
Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom.
Don't tell Mom!
Don't tell Mom.
Don't tell Mom! Don't tell Mom!
Don't tell Mom?
Yeah.
The best stories you'll ever tell start with Don't Tell.
Don't tell Dad.
Start yours in the new Santa Fe from Hyundai.
This new phone is amazing. I'm watching Natalie's ballet recital, and I'm pulling photos right from the video.
Great idea. We can pick one and frame it.
Here, watch this. She nails almost every move.
Her old camera could never do this. She's so good at ballet.
I think she's the best in the class. Where is she, by the way?
In timeout.
Oh, in that one?
Ooh.
Take a photo straight from video and never miss a moment. The HTC One X from AT&T, now $99.99. AT&T, rethink possible.
You want to open them?
Let me guess. The money went up.
And then down.
Then up. And went down again.
Probably.
Are we crazy to keep putting money in?
We could always
Stick it under the mattress. Good plan. We'll go far with that.
Okay, I am sick of this thing.
Well, see, we have cable, and if you didn't record your shows while I'm recording my shows, we wouldn't have to deal with this.
I just feel like it's watching me walk around naked.
Well, at least somebody gets to.
Upgrade to DirecTV and record 5 shows at once. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
A 30 for 30 film, There's No Place Like Home, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Gets another nice kick away going way downfield. Billy Cannon watches it bounce. He takes it on his own 11. He comes back upfield to the 15, stumbles momentarily. He's at the 20, running hard at the 25, gets away from one man to 30. Still runs at 25, to 35, to 25. He's on the 50, he's in the clip. Oh, 40. He scores!
Billy Cannon, Halloween night, won the Heisman Trophy that year. Can't come to Baton Rouge without seeing that play. First down and 10 for South Carolina. Carolina up 7-3 right now. Lattimore. And that time he runs to daylight for about 8 yards. Herbie, you mentioned this leap last week.
Yeah, he went up and over the Georgia left tackle, Canarius Gates. He had a rough night going up against Clowney. He tried to cut him, just like we saw earlier. Look at the athletic ability. Looks like he's a high hurdler and the 110 high hurdler. But by getting in there and getting into the way of the quarterback, he affected that fourth down play there last week.
Second down and 3, and they give Lattimore a fullback this time, and Edwards makes the stop. Heather Cox telling us down below that Montgomery has been cleared to play, but they've got 3 fine defensive ends in Mingo, Edwards, and Montgomery. So now Shaw checks over to Steve Spurrier's sideline with a 7-3 lead. Third down and 2. Shaw very dangerous in these situations. He's a quarterback with mobility. They stick with the hammer, and Lattimore is short of that first down. South Carolina forced to punt with a 7-3 lead.
That was the first time we've had a chance to call Kevin Menner's name tonight. He's the leader of this defense. 20 tackles a week ago against the Florida Gator offense. He had 2 sacks, a forced fumble. Really the glue of this defense. And to me, we can talk all we want about the struggles of LSU, but this defense has not been struggling, and Kevin Menner's a big reason.
Easy now. Easy over there, Steve. It's early. Long way to go. And Beckham, the return man, and he's down. But the old head ball coach was one happy that time.
Hey, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dunkin'.
I'm drinking Dunkin'.
I'm just in love with the flavor.
I get mine black. I don't want to take away from that pure taste.
So smooth, no bitterness. It's awesome. There's no other taste like it.
America runs on Dunkin' Coffee.
On this week's episode of Capital One Mascot Training Camp.
Bon appetit! Ah! Put that down! Not the chandelier! Don't chip the china! You're just a bunch of animals!
Vote for your favorite mascot at CapitalOneBowl.com.
Firing away, it hits it! What a move by Patsy!
The WNBA Finals, Indiana versus Minnesota, tomorrow at 8.
This week on BCS Countdown.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Get our experts' take on the exclusive unveiling of the first BCS standings. BCS Countdown, tomorrow at 8:30 on ESPN.
Okay, it's game day. Where tradition runs deeper than your Uncle Boudreaux's gumbo. Face paint? Check. Pom-poms? Check. Meat for the grill? Check. F-150 with best-in-class towing, payload, and an EcoBoost engine delivering 22 mpgs. Check, check, and check. Now check this. Get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 trade assistance on F-150. America's best-selling truck for 35 years. Louisiana Saturdays at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Football, Wi-Fi, wings. Now that's a business plan. Glad you like it. Question is, how are you liking Charter Business? Well, our internet's a lot more powerful than with phone company DSL. It can actually run all this now. Plus, we've got reliable phone and we're saving like crazy. Another everyday victory. Let me see your end zone dance. No, I don't dance. All right, let's just do a flying chest bump and call it a day.
To save over 25% versus the phone company and get up to a $500 gift card, call now.
Aflac time. Once upon a time, who was the vice president that presented LSU running back Billy Cannon with the 1959 Heisman Trophy? There was a time.
American history.
Well, you didn't have that course at Ohio State?
1959.
They don't teach that up there? Come on,
the
Herbie.
vice president. Okay, I'll get that.
You will get that. I'm making you the favorite. I told the crew I'd make you the favorite.
Okay. Okay.
Here we go now. Michael Ford stays in, and Heather told us that Spencer Ware had gone off looking a little ill down there with stomach virus of some kind. So they'll try to run the toss play with Ford, and he's coming down, and he's up in it at the 40. And let's go to Reese Davis in the studio. Reese.
All right, Brent, time for an Internet Explorer quick highlight. We click on the Ohio State-Indiana game where Stephen Houston gets loose for 59. This is the first of 2 touchdowns for Houston. Don't just waltz into Bloomington and stroll out with a victory, at least not yet. Number 8, Ohio State's down 4.
All right, we shall see about that, Reese. And here it is 2nd and 5 for Zach Mettenberger and LSU. They
stop the game and take a picture of the scoreboard, right?
Exactly. Corso would have done that as we go back and think about that. One of the great moments in college football. Let's go down below down to Heather.
Well, Brent, this is the second offensive series that Spencer Ware has missed. He was sitting on the bench during the last series, obviously very ill and sick, surrounded by 3 athletic trainers. They have since taken him in to the LSU locker room where they're hydrating him and giving him nausea medicine. Right now, his return is in question.
Well, that means that Jeremy Hill, who's checked in, number 33, he's going to get some work along with Michael Ford. Of course, Herbie has said how deep they are. They've got Kenny Hilliard. 3rd down and 5. Here's that 3rd down again.
Man coverage.
Mettenberger, and he completes it to Landry. Jarvis Landry.
They actually do a good job of disguising coverage. Again, playing with the mind of Zach Mettenberger. They're showing man-to-man coverage, and then as the ball is snapped, they sink back into zone, trying to make him decipher between what the coverage is, making him read the coverage that time, showing the patience to make the right read, sitting in there, making a good throw.
Picking up 16 yards and moving the ball across the 45 to the South Carolina 44. And now it is Hilliard's turn.
Oh, tight end.
So that'll cost them 5, and that's costly.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 88, 5 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
Here's a hint. The vice president was a big sports fan.
I think I already knew. Now I know for sure.
All right.
He's a Woody Hayes fan, I think, too.
He was. 1st down and 15. I told him, did you get it?
I appreciate that. I've been all over the debates this week.
Exactly. So have a lot of other folks.
When are we going to break that down? The 3rd quarter?
Down at 15. Here's a handoff and breaking free. Number 27, Hilliard. Good run.
Great blocking again, and you can't say enough about the left side. DeRosick, Larrell Collins, watch these guys move people around on the left side. Clowney was actually moving inside, making it easy for DeRosick, but again, the offensive line pushing people around.
And right back with Hilliard. Russell back, breaks the tackle, but he's not going to get the 1st down.
Say this about LSU. They've not been able to finish drives, but they've been putting drives together. The first time they had the ball, they had a 16-play drive. Second time, they had the 5 plays with the interception, but the last time they had the ball, it was an 11-play drive. And here they are getting started again, see if they can convert another 3rd down, which, by the way, they're 7 for 9 on 3rd downs. Last week, 1 for 13 against Florida.
Defensive front gets ready. 3rd and 3. Going to try. He's not going to get it on this 3rd down. No chance whatsoever. Gerardo, who was injured and didn't practice much this week, but Byron Gerardo makes a fine stop.
3rd and 3, and this is what you're facing if you're LSU trying to run the football. And it's a very athletic defensive line, shooting gaps, linebackers and safeties. You got 9 guys up there at the line of scrimmage trying to stop Kenny Hilliard.
Here's everybody's All-American punter, Brad Wing. Ace Sanders is back deep. He took one for a touchdown against Georgia last week. Wing hangs them high. Not this time. Out of bounds, and we've seen Wing with much better punts than that. Wow. They're going to mark this up all the way up at the 26, 27-yard line. 28-yard line is where the field judge is going to mark this. That's a 10-yard punt. All right, Herbie, who was the vice president?
Richard Nixon, sir.
Yes, sir. You got it. It was indeed Richard Milhouse Nixon, who later became president. And there's how the presentation used to look. No TV cameras.
Oh, the vice president.
Not Herbie sitting out there in those soft
neat.
chairs getting ready for the interviews.
Kind of like
it was the vice
president
president.
That's pretty cool.
All right, first down and 10 after that very, very poor punt. And here comes Connor Shaw with a 7-3 lead. Play action. Shaw looking to go deep. Goes deep, got a man open, and it's incomplete. Bird could not hang on, but he had a step.
This is a slow developing play, and you have to call this on 1st and 10. Steve Spurrier with this offense will take his shots. Watch the safety read in the middle. He's waiting for him to bite on the receiver in front. Once he bit on that receiver, it opened up the middle of the field, and they came close to a big one. This is Steve Spurrier offense in 2012. Run, 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 and then take a shot downfield.
Bird shaken up, is off to the sideline. Shaw on 2nd down and 10 goes for the first down on the sideline. Ace Sanders. And he was defended by Mills on that far side. So the chains will move.
Really good job of picking up the blitz in the backfield that time by Quay Gilchrist. LSU brought heat. He picked it up and allowed Connor Shaw to sit in there. And who'd they go after? The true freshman, Jalen Mills, out there on the outside.
4.5 minutes left here in the first half. Shaw moving the pocket and goes back to Ace. Ace is out of bounds, short of the first down that time, and he's become the #1 weapon here.
And I don't mean to pick on Jalen Mills. He's probably going to become an All-American down the road. He's out of DeSoto, Texas. He's a true freshman. And who is he replacing? Tyrann Mathieu. He's had a good start to his career, but it's tough shoes to fill. And right now, these last couple plays, Steve Spurrier's going after it.
2nd down and 3 for the Gamecocks. Sprints out of trouble. Can he get the first down? He's going to throw for it. And again, it's Ace Sanders, 3 in a row. The junior from Bradenton, Florida, and a penalty flag flies.
I think they're going to call offensive pass interference this time.
There's a flag inside the 4-yard line.
Officials are going to have to discuss it and find out. I know Mills was arguing his case.
The Ace is acting like this is going to go against him if you saw the body language.
Illegal touching.
He came out of
On
bounds.
the offense, #1, he went out of bounds and was the first to touch the pass after coming into the field of play. That penalty is a loss of down at the previous spot. 3rd down.
It's not by accident. This one's going to come back, Brent, but it's not by accident that this series, Steve Spurrier has adjusted his play calling. And LSU all of a sudden is playing with soft coverage until this 3rd down, but they've been playing with soft corners, and that's what they've been trying to pick apart.
Need 3 yards. Lattimore behind Shaw.
This is where Shaw's athletic ability can come into play.
Blitzer is picked up. Shaw going for the corner, and Herbie, he's got it, the first down.
It's the 8th time this year that when things have broken down, Connor Shaw finds a way to pick up a first down. Linebacker right here is actually going to keep an eye on him, Barrow. He's assigned to a good block by Lattimore. Now it's just a foot race to try to get to the corner. We've seen this time and time again with Connor Shaw. Huge first down there for South Carolina.
Herbie, Lattimore just buried Minter, who had a free shot at him. You said a good pickup by Lattimore, and he got him. And now Kenny Miles checks into the backfield for the Gamecocks on 1st and 10. Play action. Goes deep downfield, and a little miscommunication that time. Ellington broke back to the right, and I think Shaw thought he was going to come over to the sideline. And the head ball coach he's beside himself over there now. What's going on here?
He's been so patient for this first half. They've been kind of on the ropes here on the road, just doing what they've needed to do on offense. They've not been moving the ball until this drive, but they haven't been turning the ball over. He is frustrated because he got the one-on-one coverage that he wanted on the outside. Miscommunication by Ellington and Shaw.
So they face a 2nd and 10. The ball's on the LSU 33-yard line. Spurrier wants to keep it in the air. Coming underneath this time to Ellington. Ellington couldn't quite get the first down. Out of bounds on that far side. Jalen Collins, the LSU defender.
Again, the underneath routes, they do this a lot. They're going to bring receivers underneath. You can see how they try to move, get the linebackers out of position. A good move by Ellington to get away from Minner that time.
Lattimore's back in. 3rd down and 1. Up tempo. And the last timeout used by LSU here with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and South Carolina up 7-3. You know, BCS Countdown is on ESPN and ESPNU, and that'll be tomorrow. So day after the dust is settled, the analysts will break everything down, and remember, tomorrow night you will get the BCS Countdown presented by Allstate, 8:30 tomorrow night, as we take a look at the mock BCS standings. And as I told you, it's presented by Allstate tomorrow night, with Alabama winning 42-10. And Herbie, your feeling about the ratings tomorrow night?
Well, I think people are going to be excited. West Virginia loses today in surprising fashion at Texas Tech. And how about that Notre Dame-Stanford game?
Overtime.
Wasn't pretty, but Notre Dame found a way to win. Same thing you could say about Kansas State. Looks like Florida's going to hold on the road in Nashville. And we'll have to find out what South Carolina does tonight as well.
If South Carolina wins tonight, it is likely that 3 SEC teams will be in the top 5. Florida with a 31-17 lead on Vanderbilt right now. 3rd down and 1. 2:37 to go. That's one way to beat the crowd noise. Go tell them personally. And they're not going to get it against that LSU front.
Connor Shaw kind of puts his hands on his head, a little frustrated. You wonder if maybe he could have pulled that on the zone read and tiptoed around the right end for a first down.
So with a 4th and 2, Spurrier is going to go for it. The ball is at the LSU 30. Lattimore dives for it on 2nd effort, and the spot will determine it. And it looks like he got it. Looks to me from across the way.
How did he get through there?
It was just, he just will not be stopped.
No, Barrow had him. The defensive line was in position. If Lattimore got that, he got that on his own.
You know, Herbie, one thing the NFL scouts who are watching tonight, they watch effort like this. Take a look at this effort. It looks like he's stoned right there.
Absolutely.
Look at him.
And then, oh boy, that is a tremendous effort. The pad level is down. Let's see if he, wow.
Got the first down.
You know what? That's one of those at the end of the year. He's going to have a bunch of great runs. Up to this point, this might be the best run that he's had because the meaning of what this carry meant on 4th down. See, Barrow's right there. He's got him. He fights another 2 yards. He's actually falling backwards and squirming his way to get the first down by the length of about half a football.
If Les Miles wanted to challenge that spot, he's out of timeouts. Marcus Lattimore, play action, in trouble, dumps it off. He just had to get rid of it. And he fed it to the outside because Rasco was all over the quarterback that time.
Rasco's a backup sophomore defensive end that plays behind Mingo and Edwards. He does a really good job of coming off this. Right away, he has been assigned all week to take the quarterback when he sees that look. He didn't hesitate. He didn't buy the fake. And how about the effort there by Shaw just to get rid of the ball, and he got slammed after he threw it.
Inside of 2 minutes now. 2nd down and 10. The ball across the LSU 30. straight back. Can't find a receiver, and he's got to go down and take a sack. Had to throw that ball away, and he couldn't as big Josh Downs closed in and sacked the LSU quarterback.
John Chavis, the defensive coordinator from LSU, is aggressive. He's going to bring pressure. He brings linebackers this time, a stunt in front of them with the defensive line. Connor Shaw has nowhere to go, and sometimes when you're an athletic quarterback and you rely on your feet against a defense like this, it can backfire on you.
Chavis and Steve Spurrier have squared off a lot through the years. Chavis used to be at Tennessee. And when Spurrier was at Florida, they had some knockdown dragouts. 3rd down and 20. Terrific protection. Can't find anybody downfield. Incomplete. And it will bring up a 4th down.
Steve Spurrier caught a break there because Ronald Martin, backup safety, read the eyes of Connor Shaw the whole way and stepped in front of the intended receiver and almost came up with a big turnover here before the half.
So the punter is on. Tyler Hall. Beckham back deep again, standing at about the LSU 11-yard line. This one's buried at the 3-yard line. Let us go to Reese Davis for an update. Reese?
Brent, coming up in just a few minutes on the Buick Halftime Report. For the last couple of weeks, West Virginia's been the toast of college football. Saturday, they just got toasted, but not nearly as bad as Texas did in the Red River blowout. Mark and Lou will join us and also talk about a controversial end to an overtime classic in South Bend between Notre Dame and Stanford. See you in a bit.
Hi, Reese, and it was close down there with Stanford trying to get in the last play of overtime. And I'm sure that the Cardinal and their fans think that he did break the plane and they should have had a chance to kick the extra point and go to the next overtime. If you missed it, you will want to see that play at halftime. And I'm betting that Coach Holtz said they didn't make it. Just guessing.
And I'm guessing that Mark May said it easily.
It was clearly it.
He was clearly it. They could debate that one late night tonight.
Absolutely. They could, bring out the judge's robes for Reese and.
Well, let's see. You have 178 yards of offense for LSU and 3 points, and you got 69 yards of offense for Steve Spurrier, 7 points because of the big turnover.
That's 14 quarters. Last 14 quarters against SEC competition, and 1 touchdown. The LSU will get the ball to start the second half, trailing 7-3. And let's go down to Heather Cox now with the head ball coach.
Thanks so much, Frank. Coach, the last 3 minutes you appeared visibly frustrated. In fact, we almost got a visor throw out of you. What's frustrating you?
We can't get the ball flowing where it's supposed to right now. Connor, he got discombobulated a little bit. But we're fortunate to be ahead, so we got to be thankful right now.
Coach, you talked about the importance of a quick start. You got that with a touchdown, but then things slowed down. How do you rev it up?
I've been calling terrible plays. We're gonna throw the ball a little bit.
I like the 4th and 2, though, Coach. Thanks.
One of everybody's favorites. Steve Spurrier to Gamecocks lead it 7-3. Now let's toss it to Reese Davis, the Buick Halftime Report. Take it away, Reese.
All right, Brent, 7-3, South Carolina trying to remain undefeated. I think we expected a defensive-type struggle alongside my Hall of Fame running mates Lou Holtz and Mark May. Mark, you made an interesting comment as we were watching the first half. You think this might just be who LSU is this year? You start bemoaning missed opportunities and the like, but maybe that's who they are.
Classic underachievers offensively. When you have 179 yards on offense and give up only 78 yards on defense, and you can't convert on 3rd down conversions, and you can't move the chains, and you can't finish drives, and you can't score touchdowns, that's a classic underachiever offensively. With the offensive talent that they have, there's no excuse for this. They did the same thing last week against Florida, and the same thing the week before. So this is a pattern. It's not just this game. It's a pattern that's been going down the last month.
Oh, you scored every time you had the ball. Let me tell you, South Carolina is a very good defensive football team. The problem with LSU, they haven't converted when they've had the chance. They're down there the second time. They run a slant fade. completely open, don't hit it. And you have to give South Carolina a great deal of credit. They intercepted the screen pass, which set up their touchdown from the 1-yard line. They're playing good, solid football. They're playing smart football. The yardage does not matter. Only points matter.
Hey, I give them kudos for what they've done defensively, but I take it away because you've got a quarterback in Zach Meckenberger that throws into triple coverage. They run the ball on 3rd and short to the short side of the field when there are more defenders than there are blockers. Instead of the strong side, they run it to the weak side. Ridiculous. You call a timeout, you get another play called. You can't take the play on 3rd and 4 and run it when you've got 3 blockers and there's 5 defenders. Ain't going to happen.
That is not the coach's fault. That if it's anybody's fault as a quarterback, because they're automatic checkoffs. If you're running nice out of the split end, which they were doing, you do not run it to 4-on-3. You have 3 blockers, you have 4 defenders. You check out the other way.
Got to get you guys a grease sport. Basically, don't run it if you're outnumbered there. LSU did it at one point. Both of you are in agreement on that, and I'm in agreement that it's 7-3 at halftime.
Amen.
Florida and Vanderbilt playing on ESPNU. Gators going to get the win. Question is going to be by how much.
Whether it's going to make everybody happy or not.
11-7, Solomon Patton. This is a fake punt dialed up by Will Muschamp and sort of got the Gators going. Herb Street warned the Gators to be careful with this game.
You do. Hey, that is a courageous call. You're only ahead by 4.
Jeff Driscoll's had a huge night running the ball. This was his 2nd touchdown run. But Vanderbilt down 21-7, fighting back.
Scrappy.
Dex Stacy, that's the first 4th quarter points the Gators have allowed all year. Vanderbilt wasn't done. They added a field goal. It's 24-17. Now Driscoll thinking perhaps he put the icing on the cake, and maybe he has. Over 100 yards rushing tonight. 31-17, less than a half minute to go. And that should be the way it ends, 31-17. Florida remains undefeated. They've got South Carolina next week. Texas Tech put on a show, and West Virginia went down with a thud.
Neil Brown brought him in to keep the passing game to one down. The running game, and the running game works very well. Sadale Foster may go. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
This halftime report is presented by the Experience Buick Lease. It's a new lease on luxury.
The utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
Sometimes life can be, well, a little uncomfortable. But when it's hard or hurts to go to the bathroom, there's Dulcolax Stool Softener. Dulcolax Stool Softener doesn't make you go, it just makes it easier to go. Dulcolax Stool Softener. Make yourself comfortable.
My name is Bo Dietl. I'm a retired New York detective, and I'm slicing up the truth about freshness. A lot of people think the meat in this sandwich is sliced up in the back of this store. Let me show you where the back really is. This is where they slice the meat. In a factory. That's a long walk for a turkey sandwich.
Arby's slices fresh in store, not in a factory. The new Grand Turkey Club. Arby's, sliced fresh, great taste.
Enjoy your tantrum, diaper baby?
It's make your mama's proud time. I love my mama.
Wreck-It Ralph in 3D November 2nd, rated PG.
Want to win a trip to next year's Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement? Enter now at youralltimeteam.com. Pick your favorite Hall of Famers, and you and a guest could win a VIP trip with me to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, courtesy of Allstate.
Oh, the comrades that I've had.
We gotta push just a little bit more.
Sorry for
Do whatever you gotta do to keep this group safe.
Someone's coming.
Can't keep us here. We haven't done anything.
The Walking Dead returns tomorrow night at 9, only on EMC.
The SEC Digital Network presents On Demand with Season Pass. Now you can own any game and watch it anywhere, anytime on any device. Replay any SEC game you missed. Relive the awesome plays, the playmakers, and the moments that are all SEC all the time. Sign up, log on, SEC On Demand, where the season never ends.
This is the Buick Halftime Report.
Here's the argument. The go into a conference like the Big 12, it's not just the one game against Texas, it's the grind. So you follow the trip to Texas, you got to go to Lubbock to take on Texas Tech, as West Virginia did. The 7-0 game, Texas Tech scored quickly and early. Geno Smith missing. He was harassed a little bit. He was made uncomfortable at times. Smith only completed a little over 50% of his passes on the day, as Texas Tech did a good job mixing up the rushes. Now on offense, Texas Tech, they had no such trouble. In fact, right before halftime, Sadale Foster beats him to the corner, Lou.
Well, this is just a tremendous run, but once again, right before the half, once again, they gave up a touchdown of over 60 yards with less than a minute to go in the half.
Seth Dagey, he did some official counting. Others saying he's a little over 500 yards. No matter how many you want to count it, he threw for a ton against West Virginia.
Had a lot of time to throw the ball. They never got to him, had great protection, and his receivers did something with the catch after it.
And Tommy Tuberville has been the master of the top 5 upset. Did it to Oklahoma last year on the road, did it to West Virginia this time, 49-14. Texas had lost 8 straight against ranked opponents. Oklahoma killed them last year, and they would do it again. Not Elvis Peacock, not Adrian Peterson, not Ricky Williams, not Earl Campbell, not Roosevelt Leaks. No one had ever run farther in the Red River rivalry than the 95 yards covered by Damian Williams. 167 yards, Oklahoma was on its way. A Belldozer scored a whole bunch of times.
The big fellow running the ball like this, coach, out of the Wildcats, you can't stop him. 6'5", 265. He's got to be 280 the way he runs the ball.
Look at the big fella.
Move the pile.
Coach asked today when we were watching this game, he says, he a sophomore? And I said, yeah, and he just grinned. You're looking forward to seeing him full time?
Oh, I tell you, I love to see a guy run like that.
You love the running quarterback.
Just manhandle guy.
But you know what? In the West Virginia game on 4th and 3, Geno Smith had a chance to run for a first down through an incompletion. You worry about getting first downs. That's what Oklahoma did. And then it ultimately led to touchdowns.
But Bell has 20 rushing touchdowns on 72 attempts as the Oklahoma quarterback. I hope you were paying attention along the way. You learned a great deal about Blake Bell. And David Ash got banged up on that play. Ash had been off to a great start this season. The wrist didn't look good. He left the game. He didn't return. And old Big Game is still pitching that magic bean around when they had the game well in hand. Landry Jones to Justin Brown, 63-21. Oklahoma blows out Texas. A lot to fix for the Longhorns. Stanford and Notre Dame. Notre Dame up 3-0, 3rd and 16 from their own 4. This was not a good play by Everett Golson. Ben Gardner, Chase Thomas combining for the touchdown.
Terrific job defensively of getting after the quarterback and making something happen on the play and scoring on defense.
Now, Golson, Stanford has good tight ends, but Tyler Eifert really takes a back seat to no one.
Absolutely no one. He can go up and get the ball. He's a great talent, probably the best tight end in the country.
Tommy Reese was in late. He threw the ball behind T.J. Jones, but T.J. made it a TD. That's in overtime, so Notre Dame's up by 7. Ensuing possession, 3rd and goal for Stanford. This is where you thought Stephon Taylor got in.
I thought if he got in at all, he got in on that play.
So David Shaw, Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator, this is what Stanford does. Their power team, Taylor surging, twisting, stopped. Officially, 20-13, Notre Dame again comes out with a close victory. They win it in overtime against the Cardinal. But there is some controversy. That 4th down play was reviewed. Indisputable video evidence not there. Play stood as called on the field. So as you look at this, and you've seen the video several times now, let's have a look at it. Mark, you tell me you think Stephon Taylor got in.
I think
4th down play here.
Yeah, on this angle you can't tell, but he's fighting, he's spinning. Obviously the whistle hasn't blown yet, but this is the angle you need to see. It looks like he stopped here. The whistle hasn't blown. Players are still playing, but he's still fighting to get the ball across the goal line. Touchdown.
His body's up. Now, from looking back at the tape, it appeared that the whistle didn't blow. Our officiating expert, Dave Kataya, said could have been a touchdown, but in terms of review, you couldn't overturn it based on that. What were your thoughts about the play?
I didn't think he made it. Notre Dame's not giving up a rushing touchdown this entire year. They got great surge up there. I thought maybe the play had been blown dead because his initial momentum had been stopped. Great play by Notre Dame.
The one thing I will say in his defense, as you were...
My defense? What is it?
I was saying in your defense to Mark is the fact that it could have been a double punch, and Notre Dame did win the battle at the line of scrimmage on 4th and goal. They got in the backfield.
And on 3rd and goal.
And on 3rd and goal. And 2nd and goal, for that matter. Stopped them. Zach Mettenberger threw it right to Legree. He increased his Legree of difficulty and decreased it for South Carolina. He scored the only touchdown in the first half.
Hey, Eddie, where's she going now?
Looks like the dry cleaner.
Dry cleaner.
The dry cleaner.
Dry cleaner.
The all-new Buick Verona gives you Pandora music streaming.
You guys are on.
It started with a whisper.
So your music goes wherever you go. It's unexpected luxury in a car this size.
I can't believe she's listening to that noise.
When you're wide awake, say it for goodness sake. It's gonna be a great day. And it won't be.
Why not take a day to explore your own backyard? With 2 times the points on travel, you may find yourself asking, why not? A lot. Chase Sapphire Preferred. There's more to enjoy.
It's gonna be a great day.
What do we do when something that's hard to paint really wants to be painted? We break out new Bear Ultra with Stain Blocker from the Home Depot, the best-selling paint and primer in one that now eliminates stains. So it paints over stained surfaces, scuffed surfaces, just about any surface. What do you say we go where no paint has gone before and end up someplace beautiful? More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Bear Ultra, now with advanced stain blocking, only at the Home Depot and only $31.98 a gallon.
Students everywhere agree LSU is a phenomenal choice. Experience the campus where passion becomes genius. Now, only at LSU.
This season, Jimmy Johnson knows that there's nothing more painful than losing. Not even rescuing a baby porcupine. Raising it as your own. Then releasing it back into the wild.
Goodbye, Prickle Bear.
Jimmy Johnson knows that if losing didn't hurt, winning wouldn't feel so good.
Coming up on Sunday NFL Countdown, the Giants go back to San Francisco for the first time since the NFC Championship game.
It was tough. It gets to a point where they don't want to be out there no more. You never saw it in Eli's eyes. I think he was on a mission.
Will life get any easier for Eli Manning? And last Sunday's comeback inspired the Colts franchise, but no player more than Reggie Wayne.
This couldn't be written any better. Our whole motto was, Chuck Strong, let's do it for Coach.
Only on Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Now let's send it over to Mike Tirico and the Monday Night Football crew.
Boomer, we've made it to San Diego for a great head-to-head for the quarterbacks. Now, the Broncos-Chargers rivalry has always been good, but now it's Peyton Manning against Phillip Rivers.
And Phillip Rivers is a great quarterback, especially at home. He's got a lot of new personnel around him, and that's been a work in progress. But Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, I see this as a must-win for him. I don't think Peyton Manning can even say 2-4. He's never been 2-4, has he?
No, and even though their schedule's good, you have to go back to the very early days when he struggled to find a record that poor. But Manning and the Broncos showed some signs, especially late in games the last few weeks. Can they bring it early? Broncos-Chargers Monday night. See you from San Diego, 8:30 Eastern Time.
On ESPNU, number 22 Texas A&M and number 23 undefeated Louisiana Tech. The last chance for a BCS buster. That's Kristen Michael from the Aggies. This game figures to be a high-scoring offensive affair. Louisiana Tech not very good on defense, are they, Luke?
119th in the country on defense, whereas Texas A&M's pretty good on both sides of the ball.
A&M with a 7-0 lead. Mississippi State also undefeated, and that game's on ESPN2 against Tennessee. Derek Dooley, after the hip surgery, coaching from the press box in Starkville. Mississippi State is up 10-7. Connor Shaw throwing a touchdown pass after the interception. 7-3 South Carolina.
How to speak Australian.
One plus is eight.
Bipartisan. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Attention, well, everyone. You can now try Snapshot from Progressive free for 30 days. Just plug this into your car and your good driving can save you up to 30%. You could even try it without switching your insurance. Why not give it a shot? Carry on.
Now you can test drive Snapshot before you switch. Visit Progressive.com today.
In the Outback, there's just one good thing after another. For a limited time, enjoy 4 courses, including a soup, salad, delicious entree, and rich and creamy dessert for only $15. Outback, now open for weekend lunch at 11 a.m.
We hail thee, Carolina, and sing thy high.
We have a rich legacy at the University of South Carolina, serving our state, nation, and the world. Discoveries that lead to healthier, more educated communities with students who push boundaries, persevere, because as a Gamecock, there are no limits to what you can achieve.
How do you get free HD? Who's got the fastest internet? Which phone service is most reliable? Well, at Charter, we've been making serious improvements to our TV, phone, and internet service. So over the next few months, we'll be looking at all your different choices, comparing features and prices, and explaining how Charter stacks up against the competition in internet speed, free HD, guaranteeing your satisfaction, and more. Try Charter. It's smarter.
Is your retirement soaring through the sky? Or is it melting away? It's time to call Burns Estate Planning and Retirement Services. Burns Estate Planning for a more secure retirement.
This halftime report is presented by the Experience Buick Lease. It's a new lease on luxury.
Golden Band from Tigerland, huh? Head ball coach Pfizer's already mussed up the hair. Said he was not calling good ball plays. Gonna throw it a little more in the second half. Be careful. That defense is keeping you steady, Steve.
Hey, where you been? Took my car again, huh?
Yes? Yes, I did.
270 horsepower, plenty of torque. Yeah, it's a blast. The new Regal GS from Buick.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of Congress, in celebration of over 75 years of our government employees insurance company, or GEICO, as most of you know it, I propose savings for everyone. I'm talking hundreds here, and furthermore...
Breaking news, the Gecko is demanding free pudding.
And political parties that are actual parties, with cake and presents. No, that was good. It's too bad nobody could hear me.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Wednesday.
Here you will repent for your sins to the only judge that matters.
Enter the asylum. For a terrifying new tale of fear, lust, and insanity. American Horror Story Asylum premieres Wednesday at 10, only on FX.
Welcome back to College Football Primetime on ESPN, presented by Hampton Hotels.
Yeah, I wanna get jacked up. Yeah, let's crank it on up. Yeah, with a little bit of luck, I can find me a girl in the truck.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN.
Take a look down here at Death Valley in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And South Carolina, the #3 team in the nation, leads the Tigers 7-3. We welcome you back with Heather Cox, Kirk Herbstreit. I'm Brett Musburger. And Kirk, there was just that one play that I think really spelled the difference in this football game.
I agree with you, and I think if we look at the Expedia play of the first half, I think you'll find exactly what's happened here. Because LSU, to their credit, they're moving the ball. There's one turning point. It's Jimmy LeGree reading the route. The receiver, Landry, looks up, sees the quarterback, the ball's in the air. LSU's had a little bit of success prior to that play, so it gave them a little bit of a hint when to jump the route, and he did it at the right time to set up that touchdown for South Carolina.
So LSU will get the ball. If you weren't with us, Steve Spurrier did not defer on winning the toss. He took the game, the football, to start this game. And Ford and Landry are back deep. You see number 42 is Ford for the Tigers, and away we'll go. Don't get over cocky. Long way to go against this defense. And we set sail. Ford. He's going to come out. 15, 20. Spin. Solid return to the 33 as we take a look at tonight's good hands play brought to you by Allstate. And Herbie, several good hands by the defensive team for South Carolina.
Yeah, amazing effort there by Devin Taylor. LSU did a lot of quick throws. So one way to stop the quick throws is to get a hand on the ball. Devontae Holloman got involved in knocking some balls down. Jadeveon Clowney as well. And you always hear when you can't get to the quarterback as a defensive lineman or linebacker, get your hands up and knock the ball away. That's what South Carolina's defense did in the first half quite a bit.
Now let's see what the LSU coaching staff decided here. Let's throw on first down. Incomplete. And let's check in down below with Heather Cox.
Guys, I talked to Les Miles about any tweaks we might see on the offense. He said we're moving the ball well. We just can't shoot ourselves in the foot when we get into the red zone. I asked about how he'd assess his O-line play, and he said, considering the circumstances, I'm satisfied. If we finish the way we start, we'll be in good shape. Now, a quick update on Spencer Ware. He was cramping. Coach Miles described it as full body cramping. They worked feverishly in the locker room to give him fluids. He ran out seconds ago and is available. Not out yet, but is available in the second half, guys.
All right, Heather, here it is 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion, and they're going to keep it up in the air. The diving of reception by James Wright.
I think that's the battle to watch here in this second half for LSU. Their receivers have got to get separation, whether it's James Wright or Kadron Boone or Dylan Beckham, Jarvis Landry. The South Carolina defense, they're challenging them. Those corners are up tight. They're challenging them in man-to-man coverage. They need to throw the ball, and Mettenberger needs his receivers to get off of that press coverage. See it again here.
So 7 for 10 on 3rd down. This time Mettenberger needs 5 yards to move the chains. Offensive line does a good job, and he picks up Landry for the first down across midfield. Good job by the offensive line.
Absolutely, Brent. Also, watch the eyes of Mettenberger. He thinks he's going to go left, but eventually you'll see the receiver work his way back and eventually finds a window. That shows you the maturity of Zach Mettenberger and what he's capable of doing. He waited, he had time, as you mentioned, with the offensive line, and by the time Landry cleared, it was a good throw.
Josh DeRosick, a 6th-year senior, took only 9 snaps 2 weeks ago, and he's matched against Clowney. Little tight end help, and they run away from Clowney this time, and a solid run by Kenny Hilliard. Hilliard's a powerful sophomore from Patterson, Louisiana. That's a 17-yard run.
Fullback does a really good job of leading the way. You have the tight end who's in there. You can see the blocking there on the right side. They actually had a big tackle there. They brought both tackles there. A little balanced look there to the right side. And Vidal Alexander, the true freshman, starting to really settle in there on the right side. Nice job opening that up.
This is what the Gators did to LSU in Gainesville last week. Just started to gouge him in the second half with Gillisley. This time Mettenberger's going to put it up short of the first down on the completion, and that was Boone. Kadron Boone. Hampton making the stop on Kadra.
And there's that battle to the outside. The coverage is tight, making these receivers have to work to get open. But Mettenberger, I think, at least here on this drive, finding his rhythm, keeping his feet underneath him, keeping his balance, making 2 good throws here the last 2 times he's had to drop back to throw the football.
And they run for it. Hilliard. Right side of that line, and remember, it's a couple of freshmen in there. Turner from New Orleans and Alexander from Beaufort, Georgia.
Well, it has been a treat to watch these guys work up front. You're talking about a lot of inexperience. If you've joined us late, the 5th starting offensive line in 7 games.
Hilliard again. And they went straight behind P.J. Lonergan, the center. Holloman forced to make the stop.
But it's one thing to move the ball, because for the most part LSU's been able to do that. What do they do with it once they get down into the red zone? They've been inside the 25-yard line 3 times, and so far they don't have a lot of points.
Second and 7. Neighbors is now the fullback in front of young Jeremy Hill. Leads the way, gashing to the 6-yard line, and the South Carolina front is reeling on this drive.
Communication very good that time. The left guard Collins indicating with a little bit of a hand gesture to the fullback about where he had his alignment with his defensive line and what he wanted him to do. That thing opened up in a hurry.
Now they run that toss. Reaches for the end zone. Touchdown LSU. Jeremy Hill. Grew up here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
That's what you do with it when you get into the red zone. This time they didn't get cute. You didn't see a wildcat. You didn't see him try to throw it. They ran the football right into the teeth of the South Carolina defense.
They went right at Mr. Clowney.
Sure did.
And that can happen sometimes to great rushmen. They'll put pressure on and come after you. Alama adds the extra point for LSU. Now on this touchdown, check a very relieved Coach Miles.
Great design doesn't have to be stodgy or snooty. It should be inclusive, not exclusive. That's why Mitsubishi redesigned the 2013 Outlander Sport. Starting at just under $19,200, it's putting an end to pretentiousness. Great design is now designed for all. End pretentiousness at MitsubishiCars.com/unpretentious.
At Scottrade, we believe the more you know, the better you trade. So we have ongoing webinars and interactive learning, plus in-branch seminars at over 500 locations, where our dedicated support teams help you know more so your money can do more.
At Scottrade, $7 trades are just the start. Our teams have the information you want when you need it. It's another reason more investors are saying,
I'm with Scottrade.
Hey, what are you drinking?
Pumpkin coffee for the morning, and I've got my pumpkin K-Cup packs for at home.
Now I can have my pumpkin coffee anytime I want it.
Pumpkin's perfect. It's Dunkin' with a press of a button.
New pumpkin K-Cup packs, only at Dunkin' restaurants. America runs on Dunkin' coffee.
Rated M for mature. When 4 separate and horrifying stories converge, one unimaginable truth will be revealed. Resident Evil 6, available now.
Get new game content first on Xbox Live.
This new phone is amazing. I'm watching Natalie's ballet recital, and I'm pulling photos right from the video.
Great idea. We can pick one and frame it.
Here, watch this. She nails almost every move.
Her old camera could never do this. She's so good at ballet.
I think she's the best in the class. Where is she, by the way?
In timeout.
Oh, in that one.
Ooh.
Take a photo straight from video and never miss a moment. The HTC One X from AT&T, now $99.99. AT&T, rethink possible.
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
So just moments ago, with his freshman tackle and only his third start, young Alexander. Remember now, Les Miles played guard for Bo Schembechler. This is his specialty, dealing with the offensive line. And Herbie, when you think about his young line here tonight, having missed all of those starters, these youngsters have done an excellent job, especially on that drive.
I think if they go on to win this game, I think the story of the game has got to be the reshuffled offensive line and the way they've played against the South Carolina defensive line. And a lot of people after last week were saying it might be one of the best in the country.
Harrison kicks it away. Ellington deep in the end zone is going to stay there. And let's take a look back now with our Mitsubishi Motors drive recap and keep an eye on this offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line does a lot here. They help out, but I really like Zach Mecklenburger here, showing patience, letting the play develop, and then after that, it was that offensive line and some good running. Kenny Hilliard pick up some big yards. Jeremy Hill, of course. How about the blocking by Connor Neighbors, the big fullback who got in there for J.C. Copeland? Nice balanced attack, but towards the latter part, they got into the red zone. They really got behind that big offensive line and pushed South Carolina around.
So did Chase Claymore, the tight end. He contributed to that blocking up front, too. So here, now it's South Carolina's turn. 1st and 10. It's been tough going for Lattimore. 10 rushes for 25 yards here tonight. Play action. And it was whistled dead.
Right tackle.
I think he said the left Corey Robinson. Did he say 53?
I think a couple guys may have moved up here. The crowd's starting to really become a factor for this offensive line.
False start. Offense, number 53. 5 yards, still first down.
Yeah, that man is a giant, folks. He's 6'8", 340 pounds. When he moves, you notice it. 1st down and 15. Play action. Spurrier wants to keep it. Drop it off now to Lattimore, who's a good receiver, to the 27-yard line. That gives him a little space, and they get back just beyond the original line of scrimmage before Mentor makes a stop. Herbie, you talked about Mentor last week and all the tackles he made against Florida. When the Gators ran it down their throat to take the lead, Mentor had cramps and was off on the sideline, and it was noticeable. I mean, really noticeable as to how the Gators were gashing that defense without Mentor. Now on the roll, Shaw complete again, and diving is Ace Sanders for the 1st down.
When in doubt, if they have to throw the ball, they're going to throw it to the right and try to find Jalen Mills in soft coverage. We haven't seen a lot of success tonight with Connor Shaw throwing the ball, but when he has thrown, a lot of it has been to the right side of the South Carolina offense where they're going after that Jalen Mills. Again, backed off. This time they bring him up a little bit tighter to the line of scrimmage.
There's Lattimore on 1st down. Tough 3 yards against that front. And there is Mr. Mentor again. Kevin Mentor. He's a junior from Sewanee, Georgia. And he was the SEC co-defensive player of the week for that effort against Florida, that losing cause.
We saw it earlier. If you like collisions and you like great athletic ability, watching Marcus Lattimore go up against Kevin Mentor, when they get to each other clean, that's a head-on collision.
2nd and 8, and the backers go off on the edge, and Shaw goes high, incomplete. Overthrew Ace Sanders that time. So here comes your 3rd down now.
Brought the blitz with Lamine Barrow from the outside. He actually applies enough pressure there to get to Connor Shaw. I think it affected the accuracy. There's Sanders again, this time a little move to the inside on Jalen Mills, trying to get him to bite on that, and then he goes on a slant and go downfield.
Jalen Collins working at left defensive back. 3rd down and 8 for Shaw. You can see Collins over there, shows bump at the top. Shaw, short of the 1st down. South Carolina forced to punt. Mingo.
Brett, remember we had Alabama our first game of the year and the defense didn't rush upfield? We're seeing the same thing from LSU. Kiki Mingo is one of the fastest defensive ends in the country. Instead of sprinting upfield and giving Connor Shaw a running lane, he's just kind of controlling the offensive tackle and not allowing Connor Shaw to go underneath him. Boy, they've done a really good job of containing number 14.
And Hull will punt it away to Beckham. And Beckham down at the 25-yard line. So Zach Mettenberger, coming off their most impressive drive in the last 2 weeks, will be back at it.
The utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
Precision. At LensCrafters, we call it AccuFit, a digital scanning system 5 times more precise, helping you see perfectly. That's precision. LensCrafters.
Come on, it's right through here. Shh. I think I see something. What? A bunch of cows. Oh my gosh. Seriously, that's your ringtone? Okay, I'm sorry. Shh. Where'd they go?
Got a crowd to feed? Try Chick-fil-A catering.
Have you ever had deja vu?
The headphone jack is going to be on the bottom. Welcome back. Guess that Galaxy S3 didn't work out.
No, I love the GS3. It's awesome. Just saving a spot in line for someone.
Hey!
Hey, Mom, Dad.
Oh, thanks for holding our spot.
You guys have fun. Home by midnight, you too.
The next big thing is already here, the Samsung Galaxy S3.
Wait, honey, this is the line for apps. I stand...
Yeah?
So, let me show you around our improved call center. It used to take weeks or months to get life insurance. Now people can buy a term life policy in a single phone call.
That should do it. Congratulations, ma'am. I just completed your new policy. Now, please enjoy this hold music, performed by the world's cutest, sweetest musician ever. Did I mention he's cute?
She's not supposed to do that.
Call 1-888-MET-LIFE to buy or apply today.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Hampton Hotels. Feel the Hamptonality. And in part by your local Scion dealer.
Aerial coverage being provided by the MetLife blimp. See how MetLife can provide the coverage you need. MetLife, I can do this. Nice to have you with us, Snoopy. Beautiful scene here. Death Valley. LSU regained the lead. They were up 3-0 in the first quarter, fell behind 7-3 at half, and now they're up 10-7 on that touchdown. Jeremy Hill getting some work because of Spencer Ware, and number 33 has done very well. Here he comes again behind the left side of that offensive line. And they're coming right at Mr. Clowney. They are not shying away.
Not only that, Brent, but you also see, and actually you're finding out right now, they're moving people around. Traz Sutton in there to try to help out at that defensive end spot.
They're going to try to get wide with Hill, and he's got another first down.
You got all these bodies in the box, and they're trying to get to the perimeter. They're mixing up the inside run with the outside. There's Claymore again, the big tight end, locked up with an outstanding linebacker in Holloman. He just pushes him to the sideline, and eventually Hill finds that crease and gets upfield. Brent, not only are they having success against Clowney and company at the defensive line, again, they got 8 or 9 guys at the line of scrimmage on most snaps.
Remember now, Coach Stubraw The offensive coordinator said they're going to try to get to the edge. They didn't think that Georgia did. That time, no edge, folks. None whatsoever. That one blew up on him, and Corrals, one of the big fellas in there.
He looks like he's hurting. Remember, he got hurt. He had the hurt shoulder there on the block by J.C. Copeland on the interception return. The reason they couldn't get to the outside that time, they ran towards Clowney's side, but Clowney's not in the game.
Exactly.
Chaz Sutton is there,
sideline.
and Chaz Sutton is more physical at the point of attack, and he put that tight end that time into the backfield.
Clowney over on the sideline as LSU went directly at him on that last drive. Mettenberger. And that's a trip, I believe. No. No interference on the play. Because they just got tangled up. Swearinger had coverage. Two officials were right there to take a look at it.
I think anytime you're in phase, you're running with a receiver. If anything, it'd be more about the left hand than the feet that get tangled up.
A little bit of grabbing going on, but that wasn't too blatant. And Spencer Ware is back on the field. Remember, took a little IV at halftime.
Clowney back in as well, Brent, on 3rd down and long.
So they'll see if he can tee it up here on 3rd and 15. He's coming. Mettenberger gets it off on him. Incomplete. Beckham was the intended receiver. Mettenberger thought he should have had it, and they'll have to punt it away. And Mr. Clowney was closing.
Yeah, he was, and you can see Durasic almost just had to lock on and just try to get a penalty. But how about the effort here by Beckham? Gets behind the corner and in front of the safety. The ball was a little bit high where Beckham had to go up and try to make a spectacular catch.
Ace Sanders is back deep. And this time Wing drives him back to the 10-yard line, gets an alley. He is so dangerous on the return. Breaks free, cut back, looking for more, and he is wrapped up. Ace Sanders puts a charge with 61 yards for South Carolina on this great return.
He's been doing this all year, and you and I talked before the game. Brad Wings only had 6 punt returns on him the entire year for 2 yards. We wondered what might give here, strength against strength. But Ace Sanders, I said it to you last week, he might be the best punt returner in college football this year.
During the return, personal foul, blocking number 20 while the defender is out of bounds on the return team. That penalty is 15 yards from the spot from which the player went out of bounds. First down.
Well, that's T.J. Gurley, who is guilty. So that will certainly nullify that. They will spot the ball, though, close to midfield. The South Carolina 46-yard line when you come back.
A 30 for 30 film. There's no place like home. Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Great design doesn't have to be stodgy or snooty. It should be inclusive, not exclusive. That's why Mitsubishi redesigned the 2013 Outlander Sport. Starting at just under $19,200, it's putting an end to pretentiousness. Great design is now designed for all. End pretentiousness at MitsubishiCars.com/unpretentious.
Firing away, it hits it! What a move by Patsy!
The WNBA Finals, Indiana versus Minnesota, tomorrow at 8. This week on BCS Countdown.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Get our experts' take on the exclusive unveiling of the first BCS standings. BCS Countdown, tomorrow at 8:30 on ESPN.
Eddie Terrell's North Park Automotive, the North Shore's automotive leader, is proud to announce the opening of their all-new used cars superstore. The area's most unique collection of luxury automobiles and used cars at a price under what you'd expect to pay. Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, plus low-mileage Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans, and more, all conveniently under one roof. The unique pre-owned car you want at the price you want is at the all-new North Park Automotive Used Car Superstore. Highway 190 in Covington. Online at northparkautos.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Hawthorne, voice of the LSU Fighting Tigers. As many of us retire or approach retirement age, our future income is a concern, especially in today's economy. We all want our affairs handled properly when the time comes, and you can count on Burns Estate Planning, a family-owned business that services Tiger fans statewide. Now I'm going to hand it off to someone who won't drop the ball. Ernie Burns.
If you want long-term stability like the LSU Athletic Program, join a winning team. Join Burns Estate Planning.
Well, Ace Sanders, you mentioned, has been a dynamic punt returner. Herbie, here he is against Missouri.
Well, this is one of the better returns you're going to see. Watch his stop-and-go move against Missouri right there. The guy's just diving for air. This is where he started to build a little bit of acclaim for himself. And then last week, another big game against Georgia, sets up the punter, the poor tight ends down there trying to make a play on the punt return.
With that penalty that we just had, Herbie, it's now officially a 48-yard punt return. And again, the ball is on the South Carolina 46, but a good opportunity here near midfield for the Gamecocks. Shaw checking with Spurrier. Option. Shaw keeps it. First down, 40 and out of bounds. Beautiful look off the option, and Connor Shaw showed you why he's so dangerous running.
Speed option. They've not shown this a lot. Here's his pitch man, 57, and he actually gives him a little shake like he's going to pitch the ball, and it was just enough to make Barrow hesitate. Watch Barrow right there. He bites on that, allows him to cut up underneath, and there's again an indication of what kind of quickness Connor Shaw has.
17 yards, and the ball across the LSU 40. Option the other side. This time it's Lattimore. And Lattimore getting close to the 30 with Mentor making the stop.
Sometimes it's tough with a slower developing play. This is a little bit slower than what you saw the previous play with the speed option. But because they set it up with the formation, and again, you can see Connor Shaw, they get a great block there on the left side by Corey Robinson, the young left tackle. That's valuable yardage there on 1st and 10.
Second and 5, and he signals to Shaw what he wants, and so Shaw backs it up, moves the pocket, and waits to fire it up on top. Got a man, great catch, 5, hit the pylon, touchdown. Justice Cunningham makes a huge play, and you Shaw Spurrier tell him throw it up over the top. The old head ball coach made that call, and Shaw went to it.
Well, they did this last week where they get an aggressive defense flowing with the quarterback rolling and moving the pocket.
He's out of bounds, Herbie.
Yep, yeah, he is. But just like last week, you get Cunningham on a delay. They find him. LSU went for the football instead of trying to make a play on Cunningham. Clearly stepped out of bounds before he got it into the end zone.
So we would guess that Marcus Lattimore from about the 2.5-yard line might get a shot unless Connor keeps it himself. But what a great play.
A great play, and it gives you an idea that Steve Spurrier's quarterback, he's 9 of 15 tonight for 94 yards. He's not throwing it a ton, but they try to get creative. They try to lull you to sleep. They try to get you thinking about Connor Shaw or Marcus Lattimore running, and then they go play action or misdirection, and they take a shot downfield.
Here they go quickly now. 1st and goal. Look at Coach Miles down there. He's talking. He called a timeout. He went all the way down across that 5-yard line to call that timeout.
That could become very valuable timeouts late in this game. Remember, when they got down into this area, they tried to go with Lattimore, but eventually found Ace Sanders one-on-one against a safety. Easy pitch and catch that time for Connor Shaw to Ace Sanders for a touchdown.
Now it gives LSU a chance to regroup a little bit defensively here. And so they have all come over to the sideline. And whatever Les said, the officials, the line judge, taking it out to the referee, and they're going to discuss it here.
All you have to do is text the word Tigers in your comment to the number 66937. Enjoy everything.
So maybe the coach is trying to pick up an extra half yard or a yard on where they marked it out of bounds.
Is that worth the timeout?
Across the 5, I'm not sure I'd burn a timeout.
No, I mean, if it were about a touchdown or bringing that back, but the crew upstairs already did that.
I thought it was pretty clear where he stepped out of bounds.
And the great play call, the 2 defenders went for the football.
So he's not out yet. Now he is.
There he is.
At the 2.5 yard line.
Which is exactly where the ball is being spotted right now.
See, the other foot never came down out of bounds. It was up in the air, and he stepped out on the 2.5. In fact, there's a little divot mark down there, I believe. There's Spurrier with his offense. Chance to regain the lead here with the touchdown. Got a 1st and goal, but what a beautiful signal. There was nothing secretive about what Spurrier said. The head ball coach just fired that arm up in the air. Get it over the top, kid. And Shaw did. He knew exactly what he was looking at out there.
And you know he's had 3 or 4 of these in his hip pocket the whole game, just wondering when he might have the time to call or when's the right time to call him. And he's done it twice tonight and had success.
So here we come now for the 2.5 yard line. Lattimore is in there. Shaw is back in the gun. Wants a little motion. Now he'll double back. They'll take it away and throw it to him. Oh, he dropped a touchdown. Rory Anderson. He knows it. A beautiful play call. They reversed the motion.
And not only that, Brent, but Connor Shaw read it perfectly and went right over top of Kiki Mingo. Right exactly where you want this play drawn up. The coverage that you want. You mentioned how they used the motion. They found out the coverage by moving the tight end a little bit. Perfect setup. They just weren't able to hold on to the football.
2nd down and goal against this tough LSU front. Lattimore wants to know what's going on. Can he get outside? Battle touchdown. What a great second effort runner number 21 is. What wonderful effort, and the Gamecocks regain the lead.
A great second effort, and watch how he not only it's just the awareness, bounces it. Now watch him go up and under this tackler right there. So it's not only the great effort, but an awareness of where the would-be tacklers are. There are a bunch of them there. Eric Reed's an All-American safety. You got 3 or 4 more white jerseys. He goes underneath it and also maintains a low pad level to continue to fall forward into the end zone.
His 37th career touchdown for the Gamecocks. The extra point tacked on by Adam Yates. South Carolina back in the lead.
The sunshine is taking over these days, wrapped up in a blue sky. I won't ever say goodbye. And oh no, I don't need a blanket. With the love I think I'll make it. I don't have to fake it. Oh yeah, the sunshine is taking over these days, wrapped up in a blue sky. And I won't ever say goodbye.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Hey guys.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Celebrating its 8th year sponsoring the Good Hands field goal nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating University General Scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. And to date, Allstate has contributed more than $2.8 million in scholarship monies. Well, South Carolina regains a lead 14-10 over LSU. And now it will be the Tigers' turn here for a huge crowd in Baton Rouge. Landry and Ford are back deep. Here's Ford, number 42. Returnable on the bounce. And that is Ford in a foot race. Got a block. Comes down that far side out of bounds at the 35. And let us go to Reese Davis in the studio. Reese.
Brent, time for a Dr. Pepper 10 conference update on ESPN2 right now in the SEC. Tennessee and Mississippi State. This is Cordero Patterson, and he is explosive. Take this kickoff all the way back for 6, a weaving run. The Mississippi State has now stretched that lead. It's 27-14, 6.5 to play in the first half.
So Zach Mettenberger, the junior from Watkinsville, Georgia. And he hands it off to Ware, who's back on the field, and Ware is stopped for a loss. And that was Gerardo, number 70, with good penetration up front. And Mr. Clowney is on the field to start this series. He did not start the last one. Coach kept him on the sideline, but he's got him in there now.
Yeah, I wonder if that was just to get a blow or because they had some success running the football right at him. They had Chaz Sutton in there and then brought him in on that 3rd down and long to try to get pressure on the quarterback.
2nd down and 11. Rush 4 against Mettenberger. Goes down the middle, got a man open, incomplete. And tracking it back there, James Wright was the wide receiver, but the defensive back was able to get back there, and he's shaken up on the play as he came across. Bryson Williams may have touched it. Did he hurt it as he came across?
You know, they had man-to-man coverage. It's a pretty good effort. It looks like he just gets a fingertip on it to distract James Wright. James Wright got by Legree. He was by him for a touchdown. The only thing that LSU could have done a better job is Zach Mettenberger, because of the safety in the middle of the field, putting it out there a little earlier and putting it on a line as opposed to putting it up in the air and letting the safety come over to knock it away.
Bryson Williams, and here's the rush.
Yeah, Clowney got in there. He actually went through the fullback and the tailback. They slid the offensive line to the right, and they put the 2 backs, Spencer Ware and J.C. Copeland. You guys take the big guy, and he split him in 2 and still got to the quarterback.
Lit a fire when they coach had him over there on the sideline. And defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward, you caught a shot of him on the sideline. And right now, Bryson Williams, there's coach. And Herbie, he's done a heck of a job with this South Carolina defense.
I'm very impressed. We knew him over the years when he was at Virginia Tech with Bud Foster. Kind of has brought that mentality. Very, very aggressive coach. We saw it last week and is trying to do it again here tonight on the road in Baton Rouge.
We got a freshman now on the field because of the injury. That'd be T.J. Gurley. And the gun deflected again. The ball was hit as it came over the line of scrimmage that time, and it's going to be 4th down 11. South Carolina's going to get the ball right back.
They brought everybody. They brought everybody this time. They brought one more than they could handle. They just rolled the dice and said, you know what, one-on-one on the outside. There's not a safety in the middle. Clowney knows he's not going to be able to get there. Just jumps up and knocks the ball away. But they brought 8 defenders that time to try to get pressure on Zach Mettenberger, and it worked out.
So here's Brad Wing versus Ace Sanders. And remember, Sanders had a heck of a return. They come after this one and then pull away. And again,
that is rare.
Wing comes up. Well, this is the poorest I've ever seen him punt. And a reminder now, it's the Broncos and the Chargers, 8:30 p.m. Monday night on ESPN.
Remember when those two used to go at each other when Peyton was in Indianapolis and somehow Phillip Rivers became a trash talker in the NFL. He was the quietest guy I think I ever covered in college in North Carolina State. He's talking trash up in the NFL.
There's the comparison numbers between Phillip and Peyton on the season. That's a 24-yard punt. That's a story.
We've seen two tonight. It was almost a slam dunk. It would be an edge to LSU, but twice. And in a game like this, field position is everything.
.403 now. On first down, Lattimore picks up the back. Shaw now in a foot race. He'll throw this one away. So it'll be second down and 10. Sam Montgomery chasing him.
Man-to-man coverage, and they're trying to try to find a way on a kind of a slow developing play that's going to eventually find a receiver. He's rolling to his right, waiting for a receiver to be able to break free, and it was Bird that time matched up against Jalen Mills, the true freshman. Good coverage by LSU, forced Connor Shaw to just throw it away.
Now second down and 10 for the Gamecocks. Play action. Shaw couldn't get the receiver quickly, so he'll put it out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Barrow in pursuit of the quarterback there with 3:46 to go here in the third quarter in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. South Carolina leading LSU by 4.
Sometimes as a play caller, people are critical of whether you're too conservative or too aggressive. Steve Spurrier has called this game based on not just the score of the game, but the feel of the way his own defense is playing against the LSU offense.
Third and 10, pressure in the face, throws to the far side, jump ball, incomplete. D.L. Moore, who caught a deep ball last week against Georgia, was covered by Jalen Collins, but watch this rush.
They got after him, and it was just enough. Connor Shaw, I think, wanted to wait just a split second and still gave his receiver a chance to make a play on it. But Jalen Collins, another freshman back there for the LSU secondary, in really good position. You can see the left hand up there to knock the ball away from the intended receiver, D.L. Moore.
So now it's South Carolina's turn to punt it away. Beckham is back with a fair catch, and he covers it up at the 22-yard line. A reminder, of course, tomorrow at 10 Eastern on ESPN. It's Sunday. It's the NFL countdown. Chris Berman and the gang. Then coming up at 11 Eastern on ESPN2. Robert Flores, Matthew Berry, and Tim Hasselbeck will give you the information you need to get your lineup set, give you an edge in the Fantasy Football League. As you take a look at the bus that's going to take the gang to New Orleans. They tell me they're going to the airport, but I'm suspicious about that story. All right, here we are now, first and 10, 14-10. Jeremy Hill, the freshman, back in at running back. He gets the first call, gets a right. Copeland with a big block for him, and he punishes the front to the 41-yard line. And a couple things are happening here. Jeremy Hill is starting to really step up. That's 19 yards.
Watch the right side here. 9 defenders up at the line of scrimmage. Watch the way they sustain their blocks. A nice double team. Boy, the tight end all night, Claymore, does a good job of coming off the double team, getting up to the next level. You always hear about people, the best way to defend the running game, put more people up in the box than the offensive line can handle. LSU has faced that, but at time and time again, they've been able to establish that running game.
So LSU burns its second time out, and that gives us an opportunity to check in with an update. Let's go to Reese Davis.
Brent, want to put your finger on the primetime pulse. Chase for the Sprint Cup Championship on ABC tonight. That's why you guys are with us. Bank of America 500 at Charlotte. Brad Keselowski is your leader on ABC. On ESPN2, Mississippi State undefeated. They have a 27-14 lead on Tennessee. 2.5 to go in the first half there. And the last realistic shot at a BCS buster is getting busted on ESPNU. Louisiana Tech's undefeated, but old Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, has the Aggies up 24-0.
Wow.
24-zip on that one.
A&M
Herbie, huh?
defense.
Texas A&M, and remember that's a game that was postponed a little bit later. Louisiana Tech. A lot of talk about Sonny Dykes might get one of those head coaching jobs. I'm sure that Arkansas will be thinking about Dykes and a few other people next year.
Well, there's no doubt. This is when you start to see some fan bases, Auburn, starting to get a little bit frustrated about what's Texas. It's starting to get a little bit frustrated about what's happening in names like Sonny Dykes, although pretty impressive. All of a sudden, you start to look over at Texas A&M now in the SEC. Everybody wanted to know who's going to get off to a better start, Missouri or A&M. I think the example is in. We know that Texas A&M's off to a much better start.
And, you know, people didn't expect that. And there is the youngster being wrestled down. Very impressed here with what Jeremy Hill has been able to accomplish against Mr. Clowney and friends here tonight. Now, he didn't give much on that play as Clowney was determined to slow him up. But the youngster has done very, very well. Herbie, he's rushed for 53 yards and the LSU touchdown here tonight.
Catching a little break, and Spencer Ware, who's been fighting through some cramps, Heather was telling us about, actually back in the lineup, and he was the back that they thought could really be a big part of tonight's game plan.
Second down and 10, and here he comes into the middle of that front, and this will be third and manageable coming up for LSU with Surratt making the stop. What do you South Carolina fans think about the battle uniforms tonight? Do you like them, or would you, as Coach Spurrier prefers, the traditional uniform? Those camouflage pants. I asked for a pair for the manager. I'd like to take him duck hunting in Montana. And one of those old defensive linemen said I could use one of these. So here we go. Third down at 3. Handoff to Ware, tries to get the edge, and he's going to get that first down. That's a fine run with Swearinger unable to bring him down.
I thought they might get a horse collar there at the end of the play, but again, the tight end sets the edge there with Holloman and gets to the outside. I'm surprised that they didn't call that on Swearinger at the end of this. Oh, maybe actually got a hold of the hair. I'm sorry. The hair is in play, right? Not the jersey.
That's why my wife thinks there should be a rule that they should have to cut it.
Well, you can't reach
you
the
could grab
jersey.
guys like that.
Yeah.
And you can pull them down with the hair.
Can't get to the jersey through all that hair.
Thank you, Mr. Palomalu. Got himself endorsements and everything else. Hilliard back in. Play action. Mettenberger runs into one of the big fellas, and down he goes in the arms of Shaq Wilson.
You know, he has fumbled the football 3 times this year from being in the pocket and sitting there waiting, and eventually the defense gets to him. Last week, Florida was all over him in that backfield, and this time he's waiting for Beckham to clear. And by waiting against this kind of defensive line, you just can't do that. Eventually, they're going to put the pressure on you.
It would help, though, if Copeland had blocked him.
Yeah, that could help.
So Spencer Ware, all right there, huh? Sir Big Spur. He's having a big night here in Baton Rouge. Traveled in his motorhome with his owners. That's complete, but that's well short of the first down in the arms of James Wright. But I've noticed with Sir Big Spur that he has stayed away from Mike the Tiger's cage.
Yeah, that put him at the other end.
Yeah, he didn't visit that when he first got here tonight.
Did you hear what Steve Spurrier said about Mike the Tiger? He's not going to be padded up this week, at least not yet anyway.
I think Steve had some interesting things to say, and we'll talk about it in the fourth quarter. You know, we're at Death Valley. I wanted to show you some humorous quotes that came from South Carolina this week. We'll be right back with the Money Quarter, folks.
Great design doesn't have to be stodgy or snooty. It should be inclusive, not exclusive. That's why Mitsubishi redesigned the 2013 Outlander Sport. Starting at just under $19,200, it's putting an end to pretentiousness. Great design is now designed for all. End pretentiousness at MitsubishiCars.com/unpretentious.
The comrades that I've had.
We gotta push just a little bit more.
Sorry for
do whatever you gotta do to keep this group safe.
Someone's coming.
keep us here. We haven't done anything.
The Walking Dead returns tomorrow night at 9, only on AMC.
Obviously, there's trash talk that goes on out there. Talk about your brothers and your sisters and your mom and anything to try to get underneath your skin. You get pinched underneath piles and you get fingers and face masks and things that the TV camera can't catch. One of the things that everybody got on me about is how I walked, and obviously pigeon-toed and a big butt. There was a unique walk that I had. People are still trying to duplicate it, and I see the impressions. It's an honor. My name is John Elway, and I'm definitely comfortable in my own skin.
Want to win a trip to next year's Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement? Enter now at youralltimeteam.com. Pick your favorite Hall of Famers, and you and a guest could win a VIP trip with me to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, courtesy of Allstate.
How to speak Australian.
Lunch lessons, eh?
Bipartisan. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Everyone has a dream. But sometimes your future can be a bit hard to see. That's why the principal created the Dreamcatcher, a new online tool to help imagine the life you want someday in pictures. You can organize, prioritize, and plan. Then, with more than 130 years' experience, we can manage your investments to help make your dream reality. Visit dreamagain.com or ask your advisor. It's time to dream again with the principal.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN.
4-point lead at the start of the fourth quarter. All right, Herbie, give me your best Steve Spurrier on this quote about Death Valley.
Well, you know, of course, most of our guys have never been to Death Valley. LSU Stadium is the Death Valley, isn't it? Or is there another one? There's two of them. That's right. There's two Death Valleys.
Little jab at Clemson and Dabo Swinney came right back. I can see where there would be a little confusion. Got two Death Valleys, two USCs, but only one real one. Little jab in there from Dabo.
And they play this year where?
Clemson, Death Valley.
Death Valley.
Death Valley East.
That's right.
There we go. 3rd down and 6 to start the fourth quarter for LSU. Down by 4 points. Little play action. Handoff. Ware trying to bust it. Got the first down. Fine run by Ware.
Remember, he's been out most of this game. He's fresh right now coming back. We've been bragging about Marcus Lattimore, but how about the second effort here by Spencer Ware? Runs through a would-be tackler. That's Victor Hampton, the corner, and fights for those extra yards to pick up the first down. Yards after contact. You love to see that from the top-shelf SEC backs.
So it's a first down from the 37-yard line, and the play was stopped. There was a false start. That's going to cost LSU.
Before the snap, false start, offense, number 84, 5 yards from the previous spot, first down.
Nick Jacobs, one of the tight ends.
LSU doesn't have a ton of penalties tonight, only 4, but boy, they just seem like they've been costly. Whether it's been down inside the red zone or here where they're starting to pick up a big first down, down 4, starting to try to build some momentum for this drive, and a false start sets them back. Now, they might be able to overcome it, but again, it's these little things that are holding this offense back.
They've got Landry out to the right in this formation, and Mettenberg's going to come back with the running play against Jeradu and his buddies in there. Shaq Wilson defensively for the Gamecocks.
Spencer Ware,
You know, Herbie, we've talked about the South Carolina uniforms that they're wearing tonight, and they really are going to be auctioned off for a good cause. The Wounded Warriors, the soldier group. So that, you know, we've had some fun with it, but that's really a nice cause. And so I hope you folks back in South Carolina bid them up. Jeremy Hill now, the freshman's in. Back goes Mettenberger. Got that quick slant and a beautiful throw to Jarvis Landry.
Brent, man-free coverage, meaning the corners are locked up. Look at the safety, clear back here in the back, all by himself. So you got a lot of space to work with in here. That's exactly where they decide to try to pick them apart. Bryson Williams has been back there most of the game when the corners have been locked up in press coverage, but he's 20 to 25 yards back, way back there, waiting for the deep pass. And as far as the post route, this time they're hitting him on a quick slant.
Well, they come from the 20-yard line, and the youngster's thrown down. Hill with nothing doing that time. And Wilson wrapped him up.
These linebackers have been active for South Carolina. They've had to be because LSU's offensive line has really controlled things for the most part. But this is, you talked about this being the money quarter. This is the red zone. This is where LSU got into the red zone the last time they had the ball, and they just ran the football right into South Carolina's defense and got a touchdown after struggling to get any points their first 2 times in the red zone.
We got 3 yards on that run. Looking at 2nd down and 7. Copeland's the fullback. He leads the way. And this will be, look at this youngster. Look at this freshman continue to battle close to the 10-yard line.
He's feeling it tonight. He is really feeling it. Tremendous effort. We've seen this from a bunch of backs. Copeland actually goes down to his knees. You'd think he would lose the momentum, but if you're not going to get a good back down around his legs, he's just going to keep moving forward.
You know, we've got an injured player. That's the fullback Copeland down there. So let's take a break and we'll come right back.
Why do I like this new Buick Verano? It lets me audible.
OnStar, how can I help you?
Check, 287, orange barrel, reroute.
Sending new route now, Mr. Manning.
About that. Phone call, Papa Bear, hut.
Hey, Peyton, just fired up the grill. Better hurry.
Tune XM60 Outlaw. If you don't know the innovative new Verano, then you don't know Buick. It's like being on the field, just more luxury.
We had a feeling it was gonna be big, but no one predicted this. Taco Bell's Doritos Locos Tacos, taking tacos to a whole new level.
Max and his son made their way homeward bound when mischievous rain dropped down. Safety was threatened by every roguish drip. They slipped and slid. They couldn't get a grip. Then along came the Michelin Man, reminding them the right tire changes everything. Stop up to 31 feet shorter than a leading competitor with the new Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
Humans. One day we're coming up with the theory of relativity, the next, not so much. But that's okay. You're covered with great ideas like optional better car replacement from Liberty Mutual Insurance. Total your car and we give you the money to buy one a model year newer. Learn about it at libertymutual.com. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy?
This season, Jimmy Johnson knows that there's nothing more painful than losing. Not running out of fuel on the last lap. Not getting hit in the ear with a frisbee while jogging through the infield. Not getting a paper cut, then making fresh squeezed lemonade. Losing is even more painful than rescuing a baby porcupine from a thorn bush. Raising it as your own. Then releasing it back into the wild.
Goodbye, Prickle Bear.
Jimmy Johnson knows that if losing didn't hurt, winning wouldn't feel so good.
South Carolina leading, but LSU threatening in the fourth quarter as we continue Dr. Pepper's road to the championship. Connor Neighbors has replaced Copeland as the fullback, and Spencer Ware will be the tailback here for the Tigers. 3rd down and 1. They're at the South Carolina 6-yard line. And Ware picks up 1st down as a South Carolina helmet comes off, and that young man has to leave for a play. That's big Devin Taylor, one of the defensive ends, and off he goes.
LSU lost to Florida, and I think a lot of people thought, oh, LSU dropped down to 9. They're kind of on the outside looking in. You know as well as I do, this team still has a lot to be able to achieve this year, and it really is about trying to be successful in the red zone, an area that's been a problem for them, although the last drive had to be able to give them some confidence and to be able to run the football.
Fordham comes in, defensive end. Jeremy Hill's the running back on that quick toss play and up the middle. And he gets rustled down and back. So it'll be 2nd down and goal coming up for LSU.
Shaq Wilson all over this field. Stepping up 5'11", 224 pounds. At Jacksonville, Florida. This LSU offensive line spends a lot of time winning the battles at the line of scrimmage, and it's freed up Wilson as a will linebacker. He's uncovered a lot of times. He's got to make a lot of tackles, and he's been able to do that.
Michael Ford checks in.
Ford comes in. They usually like to get the ball to the perimeter.
Second and goal. He's lined up at tailback. They're going to try to get there to that perimeter. And he's short of the end zone and busted out of bounds on the 3-yard line by Auguste. Akeem Auguste was the first to hit him.
I mean, they do a good job of mixing in their backs, keeping them fresh. You know, we've seen some success with Hill and Ware more into the teeth and running more downhill, the inside zone play, and bring Ford in to try to bounce it outside. It's a big third down here inside this 5-yard line.
Spencer Ware, you'd have to think down 4, Herbie, wouldn't you, with 10.5 minutes, that this is 4-down territory to try to get this touchdown?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not even thinking about the field goal to move to within 1, I wouldn't think. Where is the tailback? They're going to throw quickly on the fade. Incomplete, out of bounds. Jacobs was the receiver, and here comes 4th down, and the offense staying on the field right now, but Alama's ready. Alama's ready.
Brent, boy, that wasn't even close.
And then here comes the field goal team, and South Carolina's got to watch the fake. Nobody loves the fake field goal any more than Les Miles.
Mettenberger puts this into the corner, trying to work with his big tight end, but didn't even really give him much of a chance at all to make a play on the football.
I guess in fairness to the decision, if they kick it and you move to within 1 and you get it back and you can win it with another field goal.
Right,
so
and the way the defense is played, you can make an argument either way.
Yeah. And he nails the field goal, so now we've got a 1-point game, 14-13. Now it's up to Spurrier to eat some time and move the ball.
The utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
I may have retired from the game, but not from being big. Good thing one car gives me full-size luxury and 36 miles per gallon, which is nice because I've got shoes that are bigger than most hybrids and more stylish, too. If you don't know the luxurious, yet fuel-efficient LaCrosse, you don't know Buick.
The EPA estimated 36 highway MPG LaCrosse with e-assist.
Buick, baby.
Hey, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dunkin'.
I'm drinking Dunkin'.
I'm just in love with the flavor.
I get mine black. I don't want to take away from that pure taste.
So smooth, no bitterness. It's awesome. There's no other taste like it.
America runs on Dunkin' Coffee.
Your own cloud with Nortek's personalized server solution. Securely access all of your data from any Mac, PC, or mobile device from virtually anywhere, making it work like magic. Your data anywhere. That's Nortek.
Okay, sports fans, put your game face on. It's the Built Ford Tough Sales Event. Ford F-150 with EcoBoost, Smash Mouth V8 power with long yardage V6 fuel efficiency, and Super Duty with best-in-class maximum towing and fuel economy. It racks up major yardage, pal. F-Series is America's MVP. 35 years straight. Touchdown, baby.
Now, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on Super Duty at the Built Ford Tough Sales Event.
1966, Steve Spurrier, quarterback of the Florida Gators, hosting LSU in Gainesville. Going up over the top for a touchdown for the Gators. Now watch Steve's footwork. Keeps moving the feet. This is the year that he wins the Heisman Trophy. And he was a great leader of that Gator team. They beat LSU 28-7. Now here's the head ball coach.
I think he's in as good a shape today.
See
as
what he
was
did as a player? I mean, that's pretty impressive. 3-0 against LSU, 4 touchdowns and 408 yards. That is very impressive. Man was a player, and he's never stopped competing. Here we go. His Gamecocks set to receive, leading by 1 point, 10-17. Ellington, the point guard of the basketball team for Frank Martin's Gamecocks, will take a knee. Let's take a look here, Herbie, and some moments with Spurrier.
That's when he thought Connor Shaw should have found Ellington for a touchdown pass. He was a little bit agitated by that in the first half, and he shows his emotions. He wears it on his sleeve. We've not lost a visor yet. We've almost lost a headset, but not quite a visor. Let me say this about him before this drive. They got a 1-point lead. You'd think this is a good time to work clock. Typically, whatever you're expecting from Steve Spurrier, especially in the fourth quarter, usually it's when he goes the other way.
Connor Shaw's got the change up. Signals the receiver out wide. Right arm rub. Going to roll in that direction. Shaw fires, incomplete. Ellington, and we check in with Reese.
Brett, I went to watch a Big Ten game and the old whack broke out. Ohio State and Indiana up and down the field. It's 31-24. Carlos Hyde dancing into the end zone, virtually unimpeded. Indiana came back and kicked a field goal. A lot of game left, 38-27 late in the third.
Reese, I didn't know that the Big Ten could have a game like that this year. So here we are in a 14-13 low-scoring affair with 2nd down and 10 for South Carolina. Drop it off in underneath, and Lattimore makes his way 30-yard line.
Just said before they came out for this drive, you'd think this is a good time to try to get a little conservative, work a little clock. First 2 plays, throws the football, checking from the line of scrimmage, trying to continue to be aggressive.
He needs 6 on this aggression. You can see LSU dominating the time of possession in this game.
Brent, they've had a lot of success right here with this matchup.
They roll, however, to the boundary side. Throw high, intercepted at midfield. Picked off by Eric Reed to find safety. A killer of an interception.
Miscommunication between the wide receivers and the quarterback. The one thing you wouldn't want to see by being aggressive was turning the football over. This is the one thing you'd rather see him throw it away, run out of bounds. Connor Shaw has missed the last 3 games. He's not made any mistakes. This time at crunch time, one of his receivers goes down. He ends up trying to throw it back to the inside to Rory Anderson. The ball sails on him right into the arms of Eric Reed.
And Reed, I believe, is down on the field around the 20-yard line after this return. Let's take a look at the veteran safety. Picks up a block. Comes back down with the crowd chanting his name right now.
He kind of collapsed there, and then he went back down. Eric Reed, for most LSU fans, remembered for that big interception in this stadium against Alabama in that regular season matchup.
So let's take a break right now. 9:13 remaining when you come back.
Hey, Eddie, where's she going now?
Looks like the dry cleaner.
Dry cleaner.
The dry cleaner. Dry cleaner.
The all-new Buick Verano gives you Pandora music streaming.
You guys are on.
It started with a whisper.
So your music goes wherever you go. It's unexpected luxury in a car this size.
I can't believe she's listening to that noise.
The passion, the pride,
the perseverance, the commitment to get cash benefits directly to you when you can really use the money to help pay bills. Like when you're hurt.
Thanks. I needed that.
Aflac, an official partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Go out tonight, be social, then stay in tomorrow. Make a date with your flat screen. Olive Garden's new dinner today, dinner tomorrow. 2 dinners for 2 nights, just $12.95. Choose one of 5 entrees tonight, like new mezzaluna ravioli, served with unlimited super salad and breadsticks. Then choose a second entree to take home for tomorrow, all for just $12.95. This has movie night written all over it. New dinner today, dinner tomorrow. Go before it's gone. Go Olive Garden.
A 30 for 30 film, There's No Place Like Home, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Firing away, it hits it! What a move by Patsy!
The WNBA Finals, Indiana versus Minnesota, tomorrow at 8.
The utterly shocking sensation of being on a business trip where everything goes right, backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Feel the advantage. Feel the Hamptonality.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Hampton Hotels. Feel the Hamptonality. And in part by the 2013 Buick Verano. Unexpected luxury in a car this size.
Well, the new state capitol, but you were looking at the old state capitol, which housed the legislature from the mid-19th century until the current capitol here was constructed in 1929. The old building was built to look and function like a castle. You got a peek on the inside, and if you're down in this area, it's worth a visit to the old one. Indeed. As you look down on our crowd here in Death Valley, Reed shaken up over on the sideline now, and a run by Ware up the middle, and it is first down.
Quick count, right to the line of scrimmage. Lost, maybe a little bit of momentum there after the injury and the big interception, but they got it right back with this play call. LSU runs this toss sweep where it's almost just in a handoff. Quarterback blocks the backside in, and Spencer Ware gets downhill in a hurry.
First down now from the 11. They toss it to him. Gets to about the 9-yard line, and he'll be stopped there, and it will be second down and 10. LSU can pick up a first down without scoring if they get across the 1-yard line here.
It is just an absolute war in the trenches. Watch this LSU offensive line in the pit on this second down against this defensive line. A lot of hands on the hips from South Carolina. They better dig in here with 8 minutes to go.
Jeremy Hill, the running back. He'll come behind the left side of the line, and he's down at the 7-yard line, and now it will be third down for Mettenberger and LSU. And remember in that last drive down there on that fade, he threw it way out of bounds, so not sure that the LSU coaches want to trust the pass here, but we shall see.
Yeah.
Jacobs checks in.
That's who they threw to the last fade, and it really didn't give him much of a chance. It's 6'5". It sailed over his head.
So at 3rd and 5, he's back on the field. It's going to be Jeremy Hill, and he's not going to get there. This is a 4th down, and the crowd a little restless about those two running plays.
It's almost like he's just setting it up for the go-ahead field goal. Just run it, be conservative, get it to the middle of the field, give your kicker a great chance to execute this and have a chance to take a 2-point lead.
Reed Ferguson is the snapper. Brad Wing, the punter, will hold it. And Drew Alama, if they kick it, will be kicking for the lead here. It's a 22-yard field goal. This to put LSU up by 2. Got it. So consecutive field goals, and LSU leads, but it's only by 2.
23 seconds remaining in regulation. Look out! Lobbed into the end zone! Touchdown!
Want to win a trip to next year's Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement? Enter now at youralltimeteam.com. Pick your favorite Hall of Famers, and you and a guest could win a VIP trip with me to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, courtesy of Allstate.
Had to be at least 2 or 3 guys to pull this off.
No, this is one guy. He wants the world to suffer. This guy just gave us our next target.
Inflicting pain is a crucial part of my true calling. Dr. Cross, you have a very pretty wife.
I will meet his soul at the gates of hell before I let him take a person that I love.
Alex Cross, rated PG-13, in theaters October 19th.
AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network, now covering 3,000 more 4G cities and towns than Verizon. AT&T, rethink possible.
Rated M for mature.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN, and our aerial coverage is being provided by the MetLife Blimp. See how MetLife can provide the coverage you need. MetLife, I can do this. We welcome you back to ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by the Hampton Hotels. LSU, with a 2-point lead, 16-14, will kick it off with Bruce Ellington back deep. Zach Mettenberger has been the quarterback, and over on the other side it's Connor Shaw. And you cannot overstress the importance of this game to Steve Spurrier and the Gamecocks, and to Les Miles and LSU. I'm going to tell you after this kickoff what road LSU has to travel, but should they make it a successful journey, they well could wind up back in Miami playing for a national championship. I know that sounds strange, but we'll show you this schedule here in a moment. Ellington now will be coming out from the 2. Out to the 19-yard line and down. So here now is the Tiger task. What's ahead? The test ahead. Texas A&M, Alabama, and Mississippi State with a combined record of 21-1, including South Carolina tonight. But win that, and they're in business.
I think anytime a team loses early, people just kind of write them off. LSU dropped down to number 9. It'd be interesting if they're able to hold on and win tonight, what this win would mean and the significance of what they have ahead of them. This is a huge game for them.
Eric Reed has checked back in after being shaken up on his interception. Connor Shaw, quarterback draw, back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Anthony Johnson with the stop.
A great push by Benny Logan and Anthony Johnson. We spend so much time with Kiki Mingo and Sam Montgomery off the edge. Sometimes it's easy to overlook Benny Logan and Anthony Johnson. That time Johnson really got a good push there. Connor Shaw had nowhere to step up into the pocket.
Here's Reed back on the field. Second down and 11. Can't find an open receiver and has to throw it away. And here comes third down and 11 for the Gamecocks.
It's the first time in the last 3 games that we've seen Connor Shaw a bit rattled. The coverage, the crowd, he looks unsure. This time he had an open receiver in Bruce Ellington breaking free, but his eyes, he's not really trusting what he's seeing. And here comes the pressure from John Chavis' defense. That time he just kind of backed up and just had to throw it away, but he had an open receiver downfield.
The Gamecocks are only 2 of 10 on third down. and they need 11 yards on this one. In trouble, sacked at the 7-yard line by Sam Montgomery. The South Carolina native sends a message to the home folks.
And confusion up front on the left side of the offensive line. Sam Montgomery, of all people, is the guy you want to watch. But because of the pressure to the outside with the Micah Eugene, who's had some success this year blitzing, he has 3 sacks. It caught the attention that time of Corey Robinson, and you do not want to leave Marcus Lattimore there to block Sam Montgomery alone.
Beckham, fair catch at midfield, and that's got to be a penalty flag. I'm sure he signaled for a fair catch, didn't he? I'm sort of surprised, but there was no flag on that. The BCS countdown is on ESPN and ESPNU Sunday. The day after the dust is settled, the analysts will break it down. They'll go through all the key winners and losers. West Virginia's going to fall. So could South Carolina if they lose this. Gators are on the move. Oklahoma jumps back into this discussion, folks,
sure do,
with that win over Texas. Hand off to the youngster. Hill breaks free in a foot race. Can't catch it. How about this freshman? 50 yards for a touchdown, and that's the dagger. What a performance by Jeremy Hill of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Is on, tacks on the extra point. With this run, he is now over 100 yards for the game, Herbie.
This is part of the wear and tear of what LSU has done. Collins, it's a power play, is going to lead the way. The fullback as well will lead it in there with Copeland. Watch Collins with a great block 7. He just takes the linebacker out. And these runs that we've seen throughout 4 quarters of football have taken a toll on this front 7 from South Carolina. They've held up, and eventually, with a game looking like it's starting to go in the other direction, maybe they lose their edge a little bit mentally. Shaq Wilson just a step slow that time, not able to do it. And the battle up front, the entire game. It's crazy to think after a week of dominating Georgia up front, 1 week later, it's LSU who's dominating up front in the trenches with their offensive line at home against South Carolina's front.
The Tigers, folks, are regaining their growl behind a freshman running back. They are just 5 minutes away from extending the nation's longest home winning streak to 22. And Les Miles, after a loss, would move to 18-1, 7-0 here in Tiger Stadium after a road loss.
He's got the clap going down there.
Ellington swings free to the right, and he'll be out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Well, NFL countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN. Big day of NFL games tomorrow. Chris and the gang will tell you all about it. They'll give you the latest news, updates from the stadiums. And at 11 Eastern on ESPN2, Robert Flores, Matthew Berry, Tim Hasselbeck give you the information you need to get your fantasy lineups all set. First down and 10. And Connor Shaw is finding out how difficult life could be on the road in the SEC. complete.
I think that's what everybody wanted to see. South Carolina looks so good at home. Would they be able to play with that same edge on the road, where, as you said, it's tough? Think about LSU last week at the Swamp. Obviously tough in this conference, and now they're in such obvious passing situations. LSU coming after it.
2nd and 6. Mingo and friends just trying to tee it up. Benny Logan in pursuit. And Shaw dumps it off, and it'll be 3rd down and 6. And on 3rd down, the Gamecocks are 2 of 11.
Steve Spurrier,
Steve is very upset.
Well, he's upset because Lamar Lewis, a true freshman, hit his quarterback after he threw the football.
Let's take a look here.
He throws the ball. You look at it in slow motion, it's easy to say, well, that was late. It wasn't high. I don't think it was late.
The Gamecock coaches wanted the call. Steve, I remember, had a costly penalty called against him in a big Florida loss here when they were ranked number 1. Snaps it off to Ace Saunders. They got the 1st down. They'll move the chains. And now the coaches are pointing at Simon.
Steve Spurrier, as much as they're known for their running with Marcus Lattimore and Connor Shaw, these guys are still coached up very, very well when it comes to this kind of moment in the game where you got to get the ball downfield. You got to be able to try to get points on the board, and you got to get the defense back out to try to get the ball back. All 3 timeouts remaining here, but Connor Shaw's got to move quickly.
From the pocket, complete. 1st down.
Yeah, LSU's giving the underneath coverage. They're giving them these plays, but the problem is by giving these plays away underneath, when Bird fights and he comes back and then goes across the 1st down marker, obviously in college football, that's going to stop the clock and give South Carolina a chance to get up to the line of scrimmage.
Clock cranks down to 3:30. Shaw goes deep down that far sideline, and it's out of bounds. D.L. Moore, and there's a penalty flag.
The only thing I can think of there, Brent, I mean, there was a little push. I think it might have been with Craig Loston leading with his head and trying to target the receiver. There was a little contact, and the flag didn't come out until 6. Loston came through there leading with his head, trying to have a knockout shot on the receiver.
Hubert Owens will tell us about it.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense, number 6, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
I think that had everything to do with the intent and what he was trying to do. It's not the pass interference call on Simon, it's right there. A little bit of contact, but it was the intent where he's targeting the receiver. See, the fans are upset because it wasn't a big hit. More about what he was trying to do.
I think he hit him out of bounds. I thought the helmet came across the back after the receiver was out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a little nudge, but according to the officials, when you lower your head like that, they're going to get you.
1st down and 10. In LSU territory, Shaw on the move, complete to Ellington. And Ellington is across the 15-yard line. Now, strike quickly and go to the onside kick.
They're gonna have to fire the ball here. It looks like, or maybe they go with a play, but he stepped up in the pocket. There was pressure. They brought a corner blitz. Really nice job by Connor Shaw maintaining his poise there and getting this team down to the field of the 15.
They're going to come in a hurry now. 1st down and 10. Only got 3 minutes left, and they've got to have a couple of scores. Shaw on the move, going to take it out of bounds, stop the clock at about the 12-yard line, and so it'll be 2nd down coming up.
This is where it gets tough, obviously, to execute as a passer. This is something that Steve Spurrier works against his 1st-team defense all the time and trying to give them a real look against real speed of an SEC defense to try to get the timing down between his quarterback and receivers down inside this 15-yard line.
Got 4 receivers. Kenny Miles is in the block. And the safety valve, and down goes Shaw in the arms of number 49, Barkevius Mingo.
Well, the LSU defensive line and their pass rush has changed their philosophy. Now Kiki Mingo is turning the corner. Now he's using his speed to go around Brandon Shell, the redshirt freshman. He's been a little bit conservative trying to avoid Connor Shaw stepping up. This time he changes it up, gets around the corner with the speed.
They've got a third down. The ball is back at the 22-yard line after that sack. Only 2:19 to go.
It was Steve Spurrier. You get down in this area, you're thinking, of course, it'd be great to get a touchdown, but with 2 timeouts, 2:28 to go, take maybe a shot here, try to get the ball down for a first down. If you can get to the 5-yard line, you get a first, maybe get into the end zone. They could still try to get a field goal and still have a chance to maybe get within a possession of this game.
Yeah, if they would kick the field goal and pick up 3 of them, make it 23-17, then go to the onside kick, but they've got to make it successful. They've got 1 shot here at the end zone on 3rd and 17 to see what they can do. And a reminder that right after this game, SportsCenter is up on ESPN.
Remember we talked in the open about which quarterback would avoid disaster. Both have made some crucial mistakes, but the interception by Connor Shaw a little bit earlier was the big blow. See if he can overcome that.
Drop it off in underneath. That's Ellington, tried to run away and could not. He's down at the 17-yard line. Eugene makes the tackle.
They're gonna keep the offense out there.
They're not going to settle for the field goal. No. They're going to keep going here at 2:11 on 4th and 13. What do you fans think about this? He needs a couple of scores. You're going to need an onside kick at some point. Firing middle. Touchdown, maybe. Let's see, no signal. There it is. The field judge has got his arms up, and he signals touchdown. Adams was the receiver that time. Gerald Adams, the freshman from Pinewood, South Carolina.
Running on the field is a touchdown.
On 4th down.
Steve Spurrier, you and I up here, a couple bozos, kick the field goal, get within a possession. He's thinking, you know what? Perfect time to dial up a true freshman tight end for the play of the game.
Well, that's going to have instant replays going to be taking a look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if the knee is down before the ball gets across.
Before you're jumping on all the bozos who are saying you got to have 2 scores, okay? And the field goal, you're still going to have an onside kick.
Absolutely.
Okay? Now, if that elbow is down flat before he gets in,
good to see Eric.
It's going to be back. LSU ball. Take a look here, folks. There's the knee. Now the forearm, and the ball's not yet in the end zone.
It's the back side of the forearm, but it's still a first down. They had to get the first down at the 5-yard line, so it'll still be a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Back side of the arm, ball is not in. Really just a couple inches short.
Review. The ruling is that the ball carrier was down at the half-yard line. It will be first down from the left hash mark.
I don't think some of the players or fans realize that it's a first down. I think they felt they may have stopped him. Now you just got to get into the end zone, try to save those 2 timeouts, get the ball snapped as quickly as you can.
Get in behind that big center. T.J. Johnson. Get it quickly, and Les wants that clock to start. He wants that clock wound. That's what the signal is down there. Kenny Miles is the running back and not Lattimore. Now he winds it. Slant touchdown. Ellington.
Brent, you got to give Connor Shaw a lot of credit for bouncing back after the interception. LSU, not only with the interception, put a big score up on the board. They come right back, 11 plays, 77 yards, little over 3 minutes, and they get a touchdown. This is the big one, 4th and 15. Didn't get it into the end zone, but he found the tight end, the freshman, true freshman, Adams, gets it down to the half-yard line, and then the toss into Ellington. Looks off to safety, puts the ball right on the money.
Now Yates becomes the prominent Gamecock player. First the extra point to make it a 2-point game. And now the onside kick. And the hands people for LSU will be setting up shop. You know what's interesting as we look back in the course of this game, and I think we were saying that Les Miles should have gone 4-down territory.
Yeah.
But he opted to kick the field goal. Not once, but twice. He put 2 field goals. And when you think about the score of this game, and even a couple years an assistant coach for the Dallas Cowboys, and a lot of Sunday guys watching this right now, a lot of coaches, they understand the value of getting points when you've got an opportunity. You know that the fan base and the announcers, we want touchdowns.
Yeah.
But you put up points when you get an opportunity, and that's what Les Miles did with that team.
Not only the NFL boys, but you're forgetting who he played for. Oh, Schembeck. He's looking down, really appreciating that approach.
No question. 1:41 to go, and biggest play of the night for South Carolina is coming up. Gamecocks still with 2 timeouts, should they not be able to recover it, but first down will start hammering the nails in the coffin.
This is something that every single college football team practices on both sides of the ball. Trying to receive, get the hands team out there, and also, of course, trying to find a kicker who can come up with a creative bounce. You practice it, and then it comes down to a 2-point game with 1:41 to go, and you got to try to execute it.
Yates is one who is there. And instead, they've got
a perfect kicker.
A couple of kickers. Yates is going to go to the side. Tried to spin it over back out of bounds. LSU football. Penalty on that because the kickoff went out of bounds.
So you've got 2 timeouts here, and he blasted this. I mean, I think he's trying to get that big hop, and it just came a little bit late. Went over Beckham's head and then out of bounds. But you got to, if you're South Carolina, you've got a couple timeouts. LSU is going to just take care of the football the best they can. And if LSU doesn't pick up a first down, there's a good chance South Carolina gets the ball back with who knows how much time, maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
So the ball across midfield with the penalty. Copeland and Spencer Ware. And Ware will handle it. Nothing much doing. And here will come a Carolina timeout at the 1:35 mark. One more timeout to go.
They may have 45 seconds left if they stop them here on these next 2 plays. See if Brad Wing, if he gets back out here, can have a little bit more of a kind of punt we're used to seeing him. He typically is good at pinning the opponent deep in their own territory.
Well, here are some of the key plays that we've had here tonight.
Yeah, he's looking up his tight end, but throws it not only high but well behind him. Eric Reed comes up with that huge interception, and then this is impressive. After they got a touchdown, they got the ball back, and then we may have seen a young man start to become the premier back in this offense in Jeremy Hill. There's Spencer Ware, Kenny Hilliard, Michael Ford, all of them have some experience, but the true freshman tonight really emerged for LSU.
Now remember, they've already lost Alfred Blue with a knee injury, and now, speaking of Jeremy Hill, he checks into the game. 15 carries for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. Certainly the player of the game. Gets the call. And that's going to bring up about a 3rd down. And a long 6, it looks like, here at the 129 mark. exhaust their timeouts.
Well, again, it'll come down to what happens here on this play.
Then it'll be turned over to if they can stop him. If South Carolina can stop him. Ace Sanders versus Brad Wing. A reminder that coming up next is Sports Center, and they will have post-game coverage from the ALCS. That's game 1 between the Tigers and the Yankees. A reaction from Victory Lane in Charlotte, the NASCAR race tonight in the chase. And Brad Edwards will have his BCS projections. Undoubtedly, Alabama will stay number 1. Oregon, remember, idle this week. You would think that they would stay number 2, but you never know about those computer rascals, do you? But meanwhile, we've got a 3rd and 6 coming up here for Mettenberger and LSU. Brad Wing waiting in the wings.
They stop him. They'll get the ball back with 35 or 40 seconds left.
Here comes the freshman. And now it'll be up to Wing. He's had a little bit of an off night as a punter. And you wonder if the Gamecocks might not come after him, although he's an Australian rules veteran. And he moves very well and gets off the punt. So we shall see what happens here with Brad Wing from Melbourne, Australia. Ace Sanders is back deep, and of course they're going to bring that clock down just as far as they can. In fact, in this situation, you can take a full 5-yard penalty and not hurt Wing with the leg that he's got. That appears to be the case to take a delay of game, but you get it down to 41 seconds. Oh, he got the timeout call.
30-second timeout. Tigers burn.
Brent, depending on how this game finishes, everybody came into this game excited to see South Carolina, who moved up to number 3 in the polls after the way they played against Georgia. And with the big game here, they got to go to the Swamp next week. This is step 2 in that trifecta. We'll see what happens in these final 41 seconds. But LSU has become the story. At number 9 in the polls, see where they are if they win this game in the BCS standings. But the whole season right in front of them after tonight.
And of course, if South Carolina does lose this game, their biggest game of the season is next week in Gainesville. Their goal is to win the East and get back to the SEC championship game. Or get to the championship game, I should say, in Atlanta. So here we go. Drives it low and into the end zone, where it will come out on the 20-yard line with 35 seconds to go. They'll put the ball in the hands of Connor Shaw at the 20-yard line. Connor Shaw, 17 of 31, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that 1 critical interception.
All they need is a field goal. They don't need to drive it, get a touchdown. Steve Spurrier has Connor Shaw coming off his last drive where he found his rhythm. You got to work the sidelines, and you got to get first downs to help you with the clock. No timeouts left.
Adam Yates' career long is 38 yards. From the middle, drops it off to Lattimore, who picks up 8 yards, and they got to hurry. They've got to hurry now.
He's frustrated. He wanted to go downfield.
Drops it off. This time the clock will stop on the first down with 12 seconds to go, but they're not getting the chunks they need.
You got to fire this into the ground, kill this clock right at the snap.
10 seconds to go. They get to the 20-yard line. It would be a 37-yard field goal.
You can see Steve Spurrier yelling, "Jump ball, jump ball."
He's got 10 seconds.
Throw it off to his left. He's got some size.
Firing down that far side and intercepted. LSU will beat South Carolina as Craig Lofton comes up with the interception. And the game comes to an end with the Tigers winning a badly needed game here in Death Valley. Les Miles going out to shake hands with Steve Spurrier. Coming up next on Sports Center, we get up to date on all of the scores and highlights, top stories. Plenty of post-game coverage from Game 1 of the Tigers and the Yankees. LSU wins it. Thanks for watching ESPN, home of the Discover BCS National Championship. So long from Baton Rouge. Here's Sports Center.